Have you been in an accident that wasn't your fault? Feeling overwhelmed and unsure what to do next? Look no further. The personal injury attorneys at Phillips Law Firm are here to help. Phillips Law Firm understands that accidents can turn your life upside down. That's why they're dedicated to fighting for the compensation you deserve and to making the process as stress-free as possible. Don't wait any longer. Call now, 1-800-JUSTICE, or visit justiceforyou.com.
Hello, I'm actor and small business owner Ty Burrell, and I'm going to tell you how Innovation Refund's network of independent tax attorneys help eligible small businesses file for the ERC. Also, they're letting me play with the soundboard, and I love it. They analyze and interpret ERC claims to help businesses get the refund amounts they may qualify for. Go to innovationrefunds.com or call 1-843-REFUNDS.
Innovation Refunds does not provide tax or legal advice. We work with an independent network of tax professionals to evaluate and process your claims. Terms and conditions apply. Ty is a paid spokesman.
Hey, this is BJ. Thanks for listening to our show's podcast. If you're a fan of all things geeky, you should check out my other podcast, BJ Shea's Geek Nation. We have new episodes every day, and you can check it out at bjgeeknation.com.
Your home is going into foreclosure and you feel like a financial wreck. You don't know where to turn for accurate information. I'm bankruptcy attorney Travis Gagne. Let's talk about some legal options. If we work quickly, we can propose a plan to save your home, modify the loan, or in many cases even eliminate your second mortgage. The consultation is free. I've helped hundreds of people just like you make informed decisions about whether to save their home or exit it on a reasonable, organized timeline. The chapter you choose sets the tone for the next chapter of your life. Please contact me today at choosetherightchapter.com. That's choosetherightchapter.com.
99.9 KISW, the Rock of Seattle. Oh, I like this. This is perfect for right now. Because you know what? There's nothing better than waking up to one of the most satisfying sounds that you can wake up to. And the survey they asked people, okay, what's the most satisfying sound that you have, that you know, in your life? And they're talking food, especially.
Oh, okay. I was going to say, my wife yelling, babe, you're late. That's not a satisfying sound.
No, yeah.
Crap, I got to go.
I wanted to clarify food because I realized, okay, some people might really be thinking other sounds. Yeah, okay. Satisfying food sound.
I can list off a bunch of unsatisfying sounds that I make in the morning that my wife would put on this list.
Yeah, we're not looking for that
list. What did you eat last night? I heard you in the other room just ripping butt.
Yeah. I feel like no, we're looking for food.
Okay.
Yeah, we're looking for food. And I stand by my claim. There's nothing more satisfying to me than waking up in the morning hearing the sound of bacon sizzling in a pan. I know that you're not doing that anymore, but it's still an amazing sound. Maybe they got the veggie bacon, right? They do. Does that sizzle?
And to be honest with you, I was never like a super bacon freak.
All right, you must leave this country. Okay. You must leave this country.
It's great, but I think the sound and the smell of bacon are better than even the taste.
Oh, I mean,
bacon's a little overrated if you ask me.
Whoa! Yeah. Oh my God. Okay, hold on a second. Thank you. Thank you very much. I was waiting for that.
Okay, here comes the president. The Bacon is Awesome fan club.
No, I don't.
Not you. I'm talking about BJ.
Yeah, I was going to say, no, I'm not going to agree with you.
Oh, so surprising. Your henchman, your underling, doesn't like bacon either.
Maybe he has his own opinion and it aligned with mine.
And it's not.
That is not true. He has your opinion. That's what he has. Ever since he's joined the show, he's had your opinion.
The taste is great. I do love the taste. It's never satisfying to me.
Mm-hmm.
And each strip of bacon is like 300 calories. And I'm just like, I have to eat like the entire side of the hog to get like filled up. So at that point, bacon's fine, but I think it's better in things.
You could put your meat eating to better usage.
Yes.
Okay. Yes.
You know, Vicky and I don't agree on a lot of things, but you know what? Vicky does have her own mind and knows when to actually just say what she likes, even if it happens to agree with her nemesis, which is me.
Put all the bacon in my mouth. I do not care. But it cannot be limp. It needs to be nice and crispy, almost burnt. Because I hate when it's soft.
I would agree with you on that one.
Floppy.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't want a soggy bacon in your mouth.
Ooh,
no.
It depends. Both ways are good for me.
You like fatty bacon?
I like fatty and I like crispy bacon. I like them both.
Side note, my favorite thing as a waitress, when people would ask for how they wanted their bacon, I'd be like, would you like your bacon crispy or limp? And they would always do a double take, and it was the greatest thing, just straight facing it. Like, yes, how would you like your bacon? And yes, I got to say,
nobody ever asked me that, Vicky.
I did just because I liked people freaking out, or the people who did like it limp. They're like, actually, I would like it limp.
I think that's a great question. I never knew you could have a choice.
I mean, I always ask for crispy when I order it at a restaurant.
I've never been asked. Back in the days, like getting breakfast with bacon on it, it just showed up and typically showed up just crispy as all hell.
Yeah.
So there are other satisfying food sounds, but we're in this big bacon debate. As what am I, the great king of bacon? What was I? Well,
I can't. The president of the Bacon Appreciation Club.
Yes,
I
thank
can't
you.
remember. It's been so long.
You're going to be. I mean, you and Danny are definitely on the wrong side of this argument.
I didn't say I hate bacon. I just think it's a little overrated.
Okay, again, you and Danny are on the wrong side of this argument. I stand behind my claim. That,
How you go on the internet and have me canceled?
I got news for you. It's been done.
All right.
Okay. I mean,
I just don't check.
Yeah, you've been
You
canceled.
can't be canceled if you don't go on your Facebook.
How about this one here? Ooh, yeah, slicing a crusty loaf of bread. Yeah.
Oh.
I mean, a really good, fresh, like or professionally baked. Not
I feel like now we're just trying to fit a square peg in a round hole. It's like it's a sound. It's nothing satisfying
Have
about
you
it.
not watched Ratatouille? There's a whole part of it. It's like, how do you know great bread without cutting it? Not the look, not the taste, but the sound, the crust, and she crunches it. Oh, it sounds so heavenly.
That was the worst French accent I've ever heard.
All right, you try it then, buddy.
That's funny. I was like, wow, Vicky found her calling. She sounds great.
It's Colette. It was Jean Garofalo.
We
Okay,
heard two
calm down.
completely different voices this morning.
I was just thinking that, man, you know what? You find a woman that likes to eat, and I think you've found the promised land. Really. Vicky, I am so surprised after this. If you, instead of getting dong pics, people will be sending Vicky bread pics.
Oh, yeah. Send me your bread.
I'm trying to think of I think my most satisfying sound would be the sound of just the water boiling and the broccoli steaming in it.
Okay, you need
I'm kidding.
to.
I'm
yeah,
kidding.
please get the
Seriously.
hell out my life.
I think the most satisfying sound, popcorn popping.
That's so.
Oh, that's good.
I
Is that
get
in-
fired up.
Ooh, there it is, number 8 on the list.
Yep.
Okay, yeah, popcorn popping is definitely a cool thing.
What about getting like a good crisp potato chip in your mouth and that crunch?
Yes.
Oh, well, I think it. Oh, you know what? It says the rustling of a snack or potato chip bag.
Oh, no.
In your mouth is not a great sound for me. I just want you to know that I don't think it's a great
good for you, not for everyone
Exactly.
else.
Yeah. My wife doesn't like that sound. I personally, it's very satisfying.
If we're talking sizzling, I'm going to go with steak, though.
Number 3, Danny.
Thank you.
Can't argue with you on that.
I got one. Fajitas. When they come out and they're on, on that skillet, and you just hear it doesn't even matter what's on that fajita. It could be veggies, it could be meat, it could be whatever. It
Yeah, steak fajitas though, man.
steak fajitas are fantastic. Yeah.
those are, butter being spread on toast.
See, I put that with the breaking of the bread.
It's the cutting of the bread, sir.
That too.
Yeah. The snapping of a chocolate bar. People think, who snaps a chocolate bar? I eat the whole damn thing.
Yeah, I just take it and
Who
bite
does
it.
that?
I'm not snap. And that snap doesn't make much of a sound.
I wonder if they're thinking of the Toblerone because there's a special way you're supposed to snap them. You push the two tips together.
Really?
And they're supposed to come apart. Yeah.
I have no clue about this.
I'm
I'll have to
wondering
try
if
that.
that's snap.
You have to get a Toblerone and bring it in. Show me how to do that, Vic. I've never heard of that, but I would definitely want to try it.
Toblerones, underrated chocolate bar.
Underrated.
Bacon overrated, Toblerones underrated.
Okay, look, I've had both, and I think that bacon is rated exactly where it's supposed to be, and I also believe that Toblerone is rated exactly where it's supposed to
No.
be. I mean, people think Toblerone's a good chocolate.
But most people don't even give it a try.
Really, they don't.
I feel like I don't ever
Why
see
wouldn't
anybody
they?
buying a Toblerone.
I feel like it's a treat kind
When's
of
the
thing.
last time you bought a Toblerone?
I think it was like holiday time. Is when I had one. When did I buy one? I
Yeah.
never buy my chocolate. I have my bees buy it for me.
Oh, okay.
The
I didn't
bee out
realize
just
you were
giving my
the
chocolate.
chocolate pimp over here.
How about French fries frying? What do you think? That a good sound?
Hell yeah.
I think anything that's frying is a
Anything
good
that gets
sound.
dropped in a deep fryer sounds amazing.
The first bite into a crisp apple. Yeah, I have to say that when you're trying to be good, which lately I've been trying to be good. I have been failing, by the way. But lately I've been trying to be good because I keep buying
It's
apples.
the thought that counts.
And man, it does that bite into the apple. But see, I don't know if it's the sound or I don't know, or all of it.
I feel like that's almost up there with the potato chip, a good crisp potato chip, like that sound. But also, yeah, there have been times where you're about to bite into an apple and you're like, oh man, I'm actually pretty fired up to eat this apple. And then you bite it and it has no crisp to it. And you're like, what did I get involved? Or you find out that you didn't even know it was not an apple and it was a pear. Yeah. I've done that before.
Oh, yeah, that's weird until you figure it out. And then you go, oh, okay.
Because sometimes my wife will put like a veggie in a bag or fruit.
How dare she?
And I'm just driving, I just grab it, and I just take a bite, and I'm like, that was not an apple. Guess I should have looked first.
You know what? I mean, when I think about your life, you're kind of like Fred Flintstone. That you're just like, Wilma packed a lunch. I don't know what's in here.
Don't know until I put it in my
I
mouth.
said, Wilma! Yeah, I think, though, that's why I like the chip sound over the apple sound, because the chip will never let you down like that. Well, where a bad apple could.
Oh, so this is the fajitas is a trick. It's a hot pan on a wet board. The meat is actually not sizzling.
What?
You got to be kidding me.
You mean they have been they've been deceiving us all this time? Okay.
So it's damn guys, I wasn't hungry until you guys started talking.
Man. Well, listen, you don't have to worry about Steve stealing your bacon.
Oh, so Steve's right. Bacon is overrated. It's only good for enhancing other meats.
Yep.
Are you
but
high?
Not good enough to be a standalone.
Are you high?
Yes.
I mean, bacon and eggs is a tradition. I mean, that's a classic, and there's no other meat there.
Yeah, but you're accompanying it with the eggs.
Yeah, but it said it enhances other meats. The guy's high.
All right, fine.
It's a meat on its own. It can live forever.
So it's don't like bacon. Migs needs his man card cut up immediately.
Oh, well,
I turned that card in a long time ago when I stopped caring about man cards. I'm like, take it. I
cut up your card.
Judge me for however you want to judge me.
Oh, I'm judging you, buddy.
I'll still be me.
Will you?
Yes.
Yeah. You know who else will be you? Danny. That's who else will be you.
Oh, let's give it a rest. Just because we're both awesome and we have the same mindset of awesome things.
Here's my impression of Danny. All right, so let's find out what everybody thinks about stuff. Danny, you? Oh, please ask Steve first.
Never said
I'll
that.
say what he says.
Find the audio of that, and I've never said that.
Yeah.
Says the man whose opinion changes when his son says something about a movie.
That's fair.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
My son is his own man that I train to say exactly what I want to say.
No, you change your opinion based on what your son says.
I am my own son's man, just like he said. There was a dude that was arrested. Why? All because of a dream that he had. Steve's going to tell you all about it. He's got the Migs report for you at 6:17 on The Rock.
BJ and Migs, mornings on The Rock, 99.9 KISW.
They called him the most powerful man in Hollywood, and he really was for decades.
He extended his tentacles like an octopus throughout the entire entertainment industry.
Mr. Lou Wasserman.
This is Glitter and Might, an Odyssey Originals documentary podcast series written and narrated by me, Sean Levy. All episodes are available on the Odyssey app or wherever you get your podcasts.
99.9 KISW, The Rock of Seattle.
If you're hearing an informative newscast right now, well, then you must not be listening to BJ and Migs. Live from the KISW News Center in downtown Seattle, this is the Migs Report.
Well, thanks, you guys. Thanks to Palace Law for giving us the Migs Report. And today, maybe you go fly a kite, maybe eat some lobster, or maybe you kiss a hairy person. I don't know what you want to do, but there's 3 different things you could have.
Oh, wow. I like me a little lobster roll.
All right, well, yes, it's Fly a Kite Day, also National Lobster Day, but BJ, this is the day for you. It's National Kiss a Wookiee Day.
Ah, that's so wild that they have that day, and then some days we just have nothing. Okay.
Hey, I don't pick and choose these dates.
Yeah. All right, kiss a Wookiee.
Yep.
Amelia Clark. Yeah. People will always want to kiss that Wookiee.
I mean, besides Leia, who else do you want to kiss?
Well, Amelia Clark was in the Star Wars universe.
Okay.
Yeah, so she was in that one.
I think I want to kiss an Ewok. They're cute.
Yeah. Don't really. I mean, some people think Rey is, Rey's kissable. I can't remember the woman that Finn was with, and then they totally didn't even cover her in the 3rd movie, but in the 2nd movie there was like a love interest for him.
Rose?
Yeah, Rose. Thank you. Some people would like to kiss Rose.
What about BB-8? He seems adorable.
BB-8's kissable.
Kiss on the head.
Poe Dameron might be kissable.
Baby Yoda.
Baby Yoda. Okay.
Oh, hold on. Who's more kissable than Jar Jar Binks?
Oh, full-on tongue kiss, too, right?
Misa like that.
Okay, let's move on to a guy who was arrested all because of a dream. This is the strangest story. He was arrested for shooting somebody in a dream.
Huh?
He's 62 years old. His name is Mark. He was sleeping when he dreamed that someone was breaking into his house. So during this dream, he's like, what the hell's going on? So in real life, I guess while he was still sleeping, he grabbed his gun, which was at his bedside, and shot the dream intruder. But there was no intruder. Wow. This was all in his dream again. In reality, what did he do? He shot himself in the leg.
Oy, oy, oy.
Police were called. He was taken to the hospital. He was treated. He was released. But apparently, he had a revoked card, which allows gun owners to have firearms in Illinois. Because at first I'm like, okay, he shot himself. That sucks. I feel like that's a lesson enough for him. He doesn't need to be arrested for it. But apparently he didn't have a license anymore for a gun. And that's a felony. So there you go.
Wow.
Arrested all because he was shooting an intruder that he was dealing with in his dream, but actually shot his own leg.
This is the kind of story that gun owners like, please, guys, please don't let that. Because, responsible gun owners go, my God, why do we have to hear about this guy?
What I need to know is, did the intruder get away in the dream? I hope he got him.
Gosh, man. If you don't wake up after shooting yourself and therefore we don't know the end of the story, that's the problem. He was right, great, took a shot, and then you wake up, I think, if you shoot yourself, don't you?
Do you ever have those dreams that are just so vivid and feel so real that you're relieved when you wake up? I've had those from time to time. I can't think of one offhand, but they've always been something really gnarly about something bad in your life, and then you wake up, you're like, I am so glad that was a dream.
Yeah. I didn't know sleepwalkers were dreaming, though.
Oh, he didn't really walk, though.
Well, but he went to get his gun, didn't he?
No, it was by his bedside.
He has a gun by the bedside, just like that. Oh, then that's really stupid.
Yeah.
I mean, I understand why he would need that there.
He has dream intruders that he has to worry about, BJ.
This is why,
And then you wake up and you're like, holy crap, why is my leg bleeding?
Yeah.
And you're like, oh man, I actually shot myself.
Yeah, I'm that kind of idiot. That's why I can't ever have a gun. I just feel like I would really, I'm so accident prone that I would shoot myself before anybody else with a gun.
Okay.
That's why I can't have a gun.
Please don't ever get yourself a gun.
Exactly. I mean, I know my own weaknesses, man, because I'd be like this guy.
There's a Florida police officer who was just fired because, well, he got pulled over by another police officer.
Wait, what?
So the police officer was, I guess, speeding, and so another police officer pulled him over to be like, hey, you're speeding. You're doing 80 miles per hour in a 40.
Oh.
You can't be doing that. And, well, then they got into a heated argument, and the other guy, the guy that was speeding, just sped off. And then when, of course, they figured out who he was, he even tried to pull the don't you know who I am kind of card, don't you know what kind of job I do? And the interaction between the two is just pretty priceless. Here's how, because, you got the body cams, you get the audio. So here's the interaction between the one police officer and the other police officer during a traffic stop.
You going to pull over?
What? I am going into work, my man. Why are you trying to pull me over as I'm going into work?
Because you're going to 80 and a 45.
I am going into work.
Okay, what are you going to work for?
What does it look like I am dressed for?
My name is Deputy Hilton, and they see your driver's license.
No.
10-4, I got a city Orlando PD taking off from a traffic stop.
Yeah.
Wow, dude. Dude, he's in a car.
Dude, what an idiot.
He's in a cop car.
The whole thing.
And he says, I'm on my way to work. And it's like, well, yeah, but you're speeding like a mo.
Yeah, you can't be doing 80 and a 40.
At first, I thought maybe it was an unmarked, it was just his regular car going to work. And wow, that is insane.
Pretty impressive.
What an idiot.
Yeah.
I mean, at this point, you're gone. You don't have a job anymore.
Well, he's been fired.
Yeah, that's
Have you guys heard about the Home Depot girl?
No.
It's this new, it's the latest viral thing that's going on, and it just further solidifies my opinion that Home Depot always hires hot chicks.
Okay.
There needs to be the girls of Home Depot. It's incredible. There's always attractive girls that work at Home Depot, including this one girl. She posted a picture. I don't think she expected it to blow up as big as it did, but she posted a picture of herself where she's in the bathroom at a Home Depot, and it just said, the one job I work at that I get reminded I'm too pretty to work at. And she's gorgeous. And it's a picture of her. And of course, it seems like a pretty harmless thing. She says, this is my college job. It has good benefits. I mix paint, y'all. And this is what I do for a job. But also, hey, look at me. I'm hot.
Yeah.
People are just you should be doing OnlyFans. Blah, blah, blah. Giving her a hard time.
Of course they say that.
People are just hey, you're not that hot. Of course people are just
oh, of course they say that.
Got to bring her down a peg or two. And there's a bunch of nasty comments. But then out of nowhere, who slides into her DMs? Shaquille O'Neal.
What?
He posted, he goes onto her page and it says, don't let those people bother you. And then she responds, because she posted a screenshot of it saying, when Shaq let you know that you're doing something right. And then she's like, hey, thank you, Shaq. And then he says, have a great day. Tell all your boyfriends I said hello, LOL. To which then she says, I will, thank you, haha. Then Shaq posts a video of him just going to a Home Depot. I don't know. A lot of people are joking, is Shaq looking for the girl? What's going on here? Is he trying to meet up with this chick?
That's hysterical.
He then makes a music video of it and with him rapping over it, where he's hanging out with people at Home Depot, signing autographs. The whole thing is just strange. Then he buys a random couple, two people that are trying to buy a washer and dryer. He just goes, "I'll pay for it for you guys," and he's known for that.
That's his thing.
He just randomly will buy things for people if he's at a store and someone else is buying something expensive. The whole thing is just very strange, and it's all because of this one girl just posted a picture of herself, and everyone's freaking out about it.
Yeah, it's so bizarre that he went from that to obviously not the Home Depot she's at.
Right.
He just went to a rando depot,
and apparently, she even posted, "Hey, this is my last post about this Home Depot stuff because people are illegally doxing my location and job. Y'all are turning something innocent into something crazy, and you ruined my way of making money by taking the internet way too far. Thanks to all the nice people I've spoken to, but also all the haters helped me grow, get more tough skin."
Yeah, this is the problem, though. You go online. I mean, that's the problem. I mean, I don't have a lot of empathy for her because you kind of know what you're getting into with the internet, unfortunately.
I do. I mean, it doesn't matter. You shouldn't have to be a douche on the internet. She should be able to just post a picture of herself and not have people freak out.
I agree that people shouldn't be douches, but at the same time, Steve, what are people on the internet?
They're douches, but I'm not going to give them a pass because they're douches.
No, I'm not giving them a pass. I'm kind of saying you got to know what you're getting into. Like, if this were the first time you were on the internet or didn't know about the internet, sure, but everybody knows the internet. And you post pictures of yourself, and you're going to get people being douches. It sucks, but it's just a reality. I'm glad Shaq made her life a little better.
Shaq's still on the lookout.
By the way, why is it that I don't give Shaq a hard time, but I give The Rock a hard time? Because it's similar, but maybe Shaq's not out there as much.
To be honest, Shaq almost never posts about the good things that he does. Typically, somebody else will post about it, and then maybe he'll comment on it. Like this one, he was just at the Home Depot, and some people had the footage.
That's so great, man.
Of him just looking at it looked like two women just being like, and somebody even said, "Oh, he went from Home Depot girl to now hitting on these other ladies by buying them washers and dryers."
I know, that's right. And he just looks like such a towering being. You forget,
a big boy.
You forget that because in basketball he was a big guy, but there are taller dudes around him. But when you see him around regular sized people, oh my gosh, it's just insane.
Yeah, he's just talking to all the random people that work at Home Depot. It's pretty funny, man.
Yeah, is it? And you know what? I mean, I think I would want to get a robe. Let me run around and do it. No, what do you call it? An apron. That's it. Yeah, or a robe. I'll take a robe. Whatever they got.
I don't know if Home Depot provides robes to their employees.
Yeah, I would definitely get. Let me get.
He's taking pictures with all of them. He's dressed up as an employee.
See,
at Home Depot.
They gave him an apron.
Yeah.
See.
Yeah, he's wearing a robe. I thought that was.
Yeah. Oh, Shaq. That's again him. Ed Sheeran. You walk into a place as those people, they're going to treat you like a king.
Especially Shaq. It's hard to deny who that is. He's a massive human being.
Yeah. But I mean, there's a lot of big people. I mean, you don't know. I mean, I come to like, are you really Shaq? Or are you just a tall dude trying to take advantage?
So he said the Home Depot girl reminds me of intern Annabelle. Way too pretty to be working where she was. Yeah, Annabelle was way too pretty to be working with us back then.
There's a blast from the past.
Yes. What was not a blast from the past was that ending to that Mariners game last night. I don't know if you were watching it, BJ, but the Mariners were down 4-0 against the Marlins.
Yeah.
Bases loaded.
Yeah.
Suarez at the bat.
Yeah.
Crushes the ball. You're thinking, grand slam, what the hell is going on? And then the outfielder for the Marlins makes a great catch, jumps up, catches, steals the home run, steals the grand slam. They end up getting one run, but not enough, obviously, to make it a game, and the Mariners lose 4-1.
Yeah, that's
not a good effort by Castillo last night. But
well, I mean, he only gave up 2 runs.
I know, just not good compared to what he usually can do.
Well,
gave up a bunch of walks.
Yeah, dude, but they were facing a buzzsaw. Mm-hmm. That kid for the Marlins has got like a 1-point-something ERA. That kid's really good. So yeah, Luis would have had to been perfect. And like you said, he was kind of, I mean, I love it. You only give up a couple runs, but for us, we're like, dude, you give up some walks. Come on.
He should never give up a run. He's too good to be giving up runs.
Yeah, that Miami kid though. That's the reason why the Marlins have some of the wins they have.
Teoscar Hernandez did get a hit. So he's at 249 right now.
Yeah, I know.
Man, I'm nervous. 4 more days.
4 more days. Teoscar better not go 0 for 4. You'll be crying.
The A's lost yesterday. Their big 7-game winning streak's over. So now they lost 6-3 to Tampa Bay. Apparently, there's also a bunch of stuff that happened with like the final legislative approval in Nevada for this move and all this. Like a bunch of other hurdles were approved and things like that.
So it's happening, huh?
It doesn't look very good for them. So that's what's happening with the A's. I mean, they lose the game, and it looks like they might be losing their team as well.
Yeah.
Mariners play tomorrow against the Chicago White Sox at home. So there you go.
All right. I don't think the White Sox are that good. So I hopefully we could win that series.
Weather is high at 72 degrees. Going to be sunny today. Thanks to Snoqualmie Casino for giving us the Migs report. And that's what's up.
Yesterday, Steve got this one right.
Golden and bald are types of what bird?
Goose.
No.
Gold and emballed. What?
Golden and bald.
Eagle.
Yeah.
I thought she said embalmed. I was like, what is that word?
Embalmed, I thought maybe is what you were thinking.
I didn't understand.
Yeah, she ran them together enough that I thought, does he think a golden or an embalmed eagle is what?
It's bald.
Yeah,
bald.
That's what it is. Yeah, you should know about your buddies, the bald eagle.
Best friends, BJ.
Yeah, I mean, you guys have a lot in common. See if it gets you like that one.
Okay.
Laughing at the awkward.
Thank you. You want a shot at beating Steve? You got it. 206-803-ROCK. We're going to play Beat Migs. We're going to do that at 6:47 on The Rock.
Today's podcast was brought to you by Travis Gagne, bankruptcy attorney. He's here right now and has agreed to answer more of your questions about bankruptcy. How do I know if bankruptcy is going to provide me with relief? What are the steps for my situation?
There's so much information out there about bankruptcy with the internet and what people have heard from friends and other people that they've talked to about their financial issues or bankruptcy. There's also a lot of bad information out there or urban legends about bankruptcy. In order to determine whether bankruptcy makes sense for you, you need to talk to an attorney that's experienced in bankruptcy. So in order to determine whether bankruptcy makes sense for you, you should talk to an experienced bankruptcy attorney. And my job is not to convince you to file bankruptcy. My job is to help you to make that decision and have all the facts so that you can make an informed decision about whether bankruptcy makes sense for you, what benefits it's going to have for you, and what the downside of filing bankruptcy is.
Thanks, Travis. If you have more questions about bankruptcy, you can reach out to Travis anytime at choosetherightchapter.com.
Hey, this is BJ. Thanks for listening to our show's podcast. If you're a fan of all things geeky, you should check out my other podcast, BJ Shea's Geek Nation. We have new episodes every day, and you can check it out at bjgeeknation.com.
Your wages are being garnished. We can stop that now. It's hard enough to pay your bills when things are good, let alone when a big chunk of your take-home pay is gone before you even get your check. I'm bankruptcy attorney Travis Gagne, and I can stop the garnishment and get the creditors off your back immediately, often the same day as our consultation. Both Chapter 7 and 13 provide bankruptcy relief, but choosing the right chapter is crucial. In a free consultation, we can create a plan to get your finances back under your control. The chapter you choose sets the tone for the next chapter of your life. Please contact me today at choosetherightchapter.com. That's choosetherightchapter.com.
99.9 KISW, the Rock of Seattle. Well, I told you got to go buy those Rock Shop baseball shirts. You got to buy the KISW baseball shirt tees because that's how the Mariners win. Apparently yesterday, somebody only bought one.
Yeah, it was very sad. Suarez forgot to wear his. If he would have hit a home run. A grand slam.
Would have hit the salami.
Yep.
These are pretty sweet baseball tees, and I still have a lot of confidence in the Mariners. I think these guys are going to make the playoffs, and you're going to be wanting to rock the KISW baseball tee. We have 2 3/4 sleeve styles to choose from, home and away. You want to check them out? They look good. Go to the Rock Shop at KISW.com.
Let's play Beat Migs.
It's time to play the game. So everybody scream his name. Beat Migs, don't be a loser. Whoa, Beat Migs, you're a loser.
Who's ready to beat me?
Come on, let's do it.
I know Adam from Shelton is. Adam, are you there?
Hold on a second. He will be. Hello,
I
Adam.
am. Good morning, everyone.
Hello, Adam. All right, Steve, now get out of here.
Goodbye.
For those playing at home, Adam has 60 seconds to answer 10 questions. You can pass all you want, but you only get 3 guesses per question. Are you ready?
Oh, yeah.
Beginning with F, what is the name for the pasta shape frequently referred to as bow tie pasta?
Fettuccine.
No.
Pass.
According to Marilyn Monroe, what are a girl's best friend?
Diamond.
Yes. Land of the Rising Sun is the nickname for what country?
Japan.
Yes. What kind of animal was successfully the first ever to be cloned?
Pig.
No.
Sheep.
Yes. Who plays the title character in the Ant-Man movies?
Paul Rudd.
Yes. Spaghetti and butternut are types of what food?
Squash.
Yes. What color is the E in the standard Google logo?
Green, blue, red.
No, yes. What company used the slogan, bet you can't eat just one?
Pringles.
No.
Lay's.
Yes. Jiminy Cricket is a character from what animated Disney movie?
Pinocchio.
Yes. What does the C stand for in the TV network CBS?
Country.
No. You get 8 correct, though.
All right.
Adam, that's pretty good.
Not too shabby.
I know. If Steve gets through them all, though, I don't know. He might get a 9 or 10.
Oh, you think Steve's going to be that good, do you?
Maybe.
All right.
Steve, are you ready?
Oh, yeah!
Beginning with F, what is the name for the pasta shape frequently referred to as bow tie pasta?
Fettuccine?
No.
Fentanyl.
Wow.
That's some good
What
pasta.
pasta are you eating?
Farfanugan.
No.
I can't think of it.
According to Marilyn Monroe, what are a girl's best friend?
Diamonds.
Yes.
And fentanyl.
Land of the Rising Sun is the nickname for what country?
Is that Japan?
It is. What kind of animal was successfully the first ever to be cloned?
A sheep.
Yes.
You're
Who
calling.
plays the title character in the Ant-Man movies?
That would be Paul Rudd.
Yes.
Nice.
Spaghetti and butternut are types of what food?
Squash.
Yes. What color is the E in the standard Google logo?
E is red.
It is. What company used the slogan, bet you can't just eat one?
Pringles.
No.
Ruffles.
No.
Doritos.
No.
Oh.
Jiminy Cricket is a character from what animated Disney movie?
Pinocchio.
It is, yes. What does the C stand for in the TV network CBS?
Central.
No.
Cable.
No.
Columbia.
Yes. Whoa,
Nice.
with that, you get an 8, which is a tie. Neither of you get a song.
Nice work, Adam.
Oh, man.
Thanks, guys.
All right, take it easy, buddy. Good
That's
game.
a couple I'm going to be kicking myself on.
Yes.
Yeah.
Beginning with F,
Yeah.
the little bow tie pastas are known
You're
as...
silly.
No.
No.
Farfarelli.
Farfalle.
Farfalle, however you say it.
Farfanugan. I said it right.
Yeah, you got it.
It's not.
Fentanyl.
It's Farelli?
It's Farfalle.
Oh, Farfelli.
Yes.
Ah, son of a gun. I always confuse that and Fusilli. Okay.
And then one that Adam got correct, the company that uses the slogan, bet you can't eat just one. You danced all around it. Lay's.
Lay's.
Yeah.
Once I thought it was Pringles for sure, and when you said it wasn't, I don't know.
He guessed Pringles too.
Yeah.
Yeah, but then he eventually got to Lay's.
I know. Lay's is the old school.
Yeah.
The old school potato chip. It's, but you can't eat just one.
Yep.
So good.
And then you eventually got Columbia for CBS.
Hell yeah.
That made you tie.
Oh, there you go. Hey, has anybody watched that Flamin' Hot movie, which is about the dude that?
No, I saw that though.
Yeah, I people are saying great stuff about it on Facebook. And Eva Longoria, it's her. I don't know if it's her first movie she's directed, but it's definitely the first one I've ever seen that she's directed. And it's a story about the janitor. I mean, it's sort of based on the story about a dude at the Frito-Lay company that actually created the Flamin' Hot brand.
What?
Yeah,
There's a movie about this?
Yeah, and apparently they say it's
And
very
it's a true
heartwarming.
story.
Yeah. And I was wondering if anybody watched it.
I will now.
Yeah, I keep seeing it, and I'm like, well, I want to be sure it's good, or people just, hyping it. But
Holy crap. Yeah, it's about a guy who picked grapes as a child and he was poor and lacked opportunity on a daily basis. And then, he was a janitor and created a new flavor.
Which is, it's
What a
interesting.
story.
What a great no-brainer, because as we know, man, I mean, there's a lot of people that love super spicy. And obviously the Flamin' Hot brand has done very, very well for Frito-Lay. And I would have never thought it because, me, I'm a lightweight. But Vicky would be like, yeah, put a flamethrower in that bag.
There are a lot of places, they're called like little stores. They're called antojitos, which is like little snack stands. And what they'll do is they'll serve like Lay's potato chips and they'll just put hot sauce on it. And that is a snack you can buy at these stands.
That's awesome.
So this guy knew this, said, hey, look, Lay's, let's get this done.
So this is a Disney movie.
But I've seen it on Hulu as well. So
they're owned by the same people, aren't they?
Oh, yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
That's why it's on Hulu. Okay, yeah. So either
they were even doing that stuff that we had the sauce on the fruit.
Oh, yeah, the little fruit and vegetable cups with the tahini and lime juice.
And what's that sauce?
Chamoy.
Chamoy that we just recently had.
How about that?
Oh, man, I got to watch this movie. This looks great.
Yeah, I mean, I'm hearing good things. So, okay, Flamin' Hot. It's so you can watch it, I guess, if you have the Disney app, or I thought I saw it on Apple TV Plus too. I don't know. Hulu, definitely.
It just says distributed by Hulu and Disney Plus, but that, I don't know.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Just go with those guys. You'll figure it out.
Got 68% on Hot and Tomatoes.
Good old Hot and Tomatoes. Hey, 68. Good for Eva Longoria.
89% by the users, though.
You know, I didn't know she was directing. So how cool is that for her if that, you know, if she gets that directorial career kicking off?
Yeah.
Nice. Well, speaking of food, I got to ask you.
Yes, sir.
Because you did get your Moto pizza. Well, you were supposed to get your Moto pizza yesterday. I don't know how that worked out.
Yeah, somebody said, let's hear about that pizza that took 3 months to get.
Yeah.
I got it.
Okay.
And I have to say, the hype is real.
Of course it is. Of course it is.
Dude.
What makes it? I am seeing the picture, and it looks very fancy the way they did it.
Let me preface it by saying no pizza is worth waiting 4 months for, including this one. I'm not gonna go crazy and be like, oh, you know. But we did it as a goof, and so it was back in February. Put the order in, and then finally yesterday I could pick it up and get it. And I took a bite. It's Detroit style pizza.
Oh, that's worth it.
That's what makes it great. And man, I took a bite into this thing, and all the flavors are just so vibrant and so good. I can't really put it into words because it's food. It's hard to kind of articulate that, but I understand why people go crazy about this pizza.
Well, if you can taste flavors beyond just what you normally would taste, that's a good meal.
And you know, and of course we're plant-based weirdos, so I got the vegan version of their vegan cheese and their vegan pepperoni. And I'll admit, typically the vegan versions are a step below as far as the cheese. It's good enough, but I don't know what the actual cheese version is going to taste like. If this version is as good as it is, I can't even imagine what then
wow,
you know
really?
What I mean, dude? It is phenomenal.
Hopefully it wasn't real cheese. If it tasted that good.
I'm going to pretend that it wasn't then, BJ.
Yeah.
My God, dude, the bread, the crust. Everything about it was crunchy but light. I ate one piece and then I could not stop thinking about it. I just kept thinking about how good it was. I ate another slice because I was just this is just so good. I wasn't even hungry. I just wanted to keep eating it. It was so delicious. And I can't wait we bought some for tonight for my wife and my kid to have so we could reheat it. And they give you ways to reheat it, which is kind of funny. They'll tell you little tips on how to do it in the oven. And then they also say, if you're drunk, you can microwave it, which I thought was funny.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah.
It is funny, too, because that you mentioned the crust, because that is the thing that I think everyone, our friend Keith, who does our shirts and whatnot, he's the one that originally was like, have you been to Moto? And I was like, no. And he's like, it's like eating a cloud. It's the best crust he's ever had in a pizza. And I was like, yeah, okay, it can't be that amazing. He's like, no, dude, you don't understand. It's the most amazing pizza you'll ever try.
I can understand that. When you have a crust or a pastry of a pie, anything where you go, whoa, okay, this is different. I can imagine a pizza with a light crust, but still crispy.
Really crispy.
Yeah.
It's that Detroit style. So it's got pan fried, but inside is just, it's like eating heaven.
Yeah. Well, you took a picture of it, and I see they even fancily drizzled the sauce on as opposed to which I think is kind of a cool little touch.
It's worth getting. I know you could go there, and I think you could order it there, and then depending on the weight and all that. But if you can figure a way out to get it, it's a little pricey, but it's worth the experience. I mean.
And also at T-Mobile, right?
And according to our buddy, Kevin Zelko on Twitter, the beer vendor guy, he's an awesome dude. He says he's enjoyed the ballpark options as well. So apparently the ballpark options are very good too.
Oh,
I think they're limited in what they provide as a menu item at the ballpark. They don't have all these crazy concoctions that they do on their website, different versions of meat and honey on one. I kind of want to try the one that has honey drizzled on it.
Oh, whoa! Look at that pizza. That is definitely different. You're right. Dude. That's that Detroit style. We don't get a lot of that out here.
Maybe I'm a bad New Yorker, but I have to say the Detroit style pizza might be my favorite style of pizza. Because I love Dino's in Capitol Hill. That's one of my favorite pizza places, and they have a Detroit style vibe.
We got to go there again, Danny. Did we ever go there at all?
No.
Oh, then we should go there. We should go there soon.
Where's there?
Dino's.
Oh yeah, Dino's.
I guess I've never been. I thought I was.
But this pizza is it's worth the hype.
Dang! It's just you got to wait so long to do it.
Yeah, but if you do it for funsies, that was the whole point. It kind of makes it fun when you get a text message from them saying your pizza's ready. And you're like, woohoo! Let's go.
Well, you can't even. You said that you can't even get it now, right? Are they so booked out?
Well, you go to Edmonds. It's sold out in West Seattle right now, which is bonkers.
I got to go to Edmonds.
Yeah, it's sold out right now, and they'll give updates, and you can order it in Edmonds, and the earliest you'll get it is in August.
I see they got one coming to Belltown.
Belltown coming soon.
Oh, see now to me,
go to the Mariners game, man. Get it at a Mariners game.
Hold on, Moto. I would think East Side would eat this up.
Look at you, man. Such your East Side bias.
Oh yes, because I live on the East Side.
Yeah,
I think you're South Side bias. You know why?
Because I'm from Puyallup.
There we go. Thank you.
So it's like, what is this pizza? It's called Moto Pizza, and that's their whole
MOTO.
shtick. Their whole shtick is that you have to order in advance. You can't just go there and get it. You can, but I think it's a crapshoot, right, Danny?
That's what I've heard. I've never, I don't know.
Yeah, I was going to give you a hard time because I thought psychologically you're going to just love this pizza because of the hype of how you can't get it and you have to wait months to order it, which seems so ridiculous for pizza. But I also know this. You are from New York. You can be a pizza snob because a lot of New Yorkers can be because, New York pizza is delicious. So I hate to say it, but I think that your review is probably very accurate, which means I got to get this pizza someday.
Someone said I got Moto Pizza on the same day. I just went in and ordered a pizza and it was ready in 45 minutes. You don't have to wait 4 months.
Whoa. What?
See, that's the part I don't understand. There is a spot where people were sitting outside. Like, when I got there in West Seattle, there were people just sitting outside, and I got to imagine they ordered it whenever, but maybe that's just a crapshoot. I don't know.
All right. Danny, you want to give it I don't know. Should we give it a try someday? Whatever.
You could go wait. I have my pizza order in for next week.
Yeah, he gets his next week.
Yeah,
that's right.
Yeah, what if the whole time you could just walk in and just get it, no problem? 45-minute wait, though? Maybe that's why. People don't want to wait 45 minutes.
Joey D's, what do you think? You and me just try it someday?
I'm in.
After work, we'll try and see what it's like.
After Steve's review, how can we not?
We'll do a video and see what it takes. If we can just walk in and get
it's
it.
It's a 45-minute video of BJ just sitting outside training.
He's like, when is it going to be ready? I'm starving.
See, this is the wrong time of year to do it, though, because everyone's going to be out of school. It's going to be packed.
Yeah, everybody, even Slow Joe, he tweeted at me because that pizza is delicious. The wait, though, 6 months thing, that scarcity business model, a little weirdo-ish, though. Who the hell plans that far ahead for pizza?
Yeah, if they're making money, though, who's to say?
They are.
Yeah, and they're opening up other places, which... It's a cool idea. Everybody's going to probably want to go to a place that opens up. So the scarcity idea is pretty interesting if you're thinking of expanding and Mod Pizza has become a great franchise, so why not Moto?
Well, and to be fair, I remember reading the story. That wasn't the way that they set it up originally. They originally were just selling pizzas every day, but it got so popular so quick that then they had to switch to this order
weird
version.
Business model.
Yeah, and that's when it was okay, they kept selling out the reservations.
I get why people. It's really good pizza. I can understand why people want to keep going in. It's a small little shop. It's not like a giant business.
That's the thing.
Yeah.
Boy, oh boy, imagine. See, I don't know. Imagine if they could have a bigger place where they could basically feed everybody that wants to eat.
Maybe the Belltown version will be that.
Oh, man. All right. Joey D's, we'll have to figure it out. And I don't know, maybe, Danny, if you'd like, you can come along, especially if you'd like to have the one that you get.
You got one in August. All you got to do is just put it in order right now.
And drive up to Edmonds.
Yeah. Well... Edmonds it's not a horrible place to go, Edmonds.
Friday night, get down there and boom, in your belly.
All right, Joey, let's plan this, Joey. Maybe we can, get J-Rubs in on this and Sarah and make it a family event.
And it's ridiculous. I get it. It's ridiculous waiting that long. But when the time does come, you get kind of hyped up for it. You're like, oh, finally, it's been all these months and now here it is. It's stupid, but there's something fun about that.
All right. Oh, man. I should have picked that for Father's Day. It probably wouldn't have worked. I would have had to reserve it 3 years ago.
Yeah. You've only getting at 7:45 p.m. on a Friday night in August. You could do that right now.
That's what's open?
That's the earliest.
In Edmonds?
Yeah.
Oy. Traffic's not real fun going up there on a Friday.
You could go later than 7:45. You could go 8, 8:15, 8:30, 8:45, 9. But the earliest is 7:45.
We'll have to pre-funk at Joey's apartment up in, up north. All right. Hey, are you having problems at work? Maybe you're having some relationship issues or any other random problem where maybe you could use just a little advice. Well, normally you should go talk to professionals, but who's got the cash for that? So us, we're here for you. Call us or text us now, 206-803-ROCK. It's Help Wanted, and we're going to do it at 7:17 on The Rock.
BJ and Migs, mornings on The Rock, 99.9 KISW. Is your relationship going sideways?
Have a family issue? Problems with your coworker?
Do you need advice? We're here to help. No problem is too dumb. No dilemma is too silly. This is Help Wanted with BJ and Migs.
99.9 KISW, The Rock of Seattle. Help Wanted. Brand new segment on our show where basically you got issues and you know something, man, we are here for you. That's what it's all about.
And it doesn't matter, man. Rockaholics have been texting us, calling us over a long period of time. We tried to fit him in on Listeners on the Loose, and then Steve was like, dude, this is bigger than that. This is bigger.
It's even more overwhelming now that we're doing this segment, man. Every day we get different texts, and they're all of all varieties. Some are random, some are serious, some are just ridiculous.
And a lot of us have lived life experiences, and if you have anything dumb, that's where we let Danny, be part of the conversation. Anything at all about relationships where they don't work, we let Vicky be part of the conversation.
Wow.
And then, really anything else where you just need to be an expert, well, then you got Steve and I.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, we're the experts.
We're the experts. That's scary.
We're the success stories. And then if you want to know how to deal with failure, we let, the kids, we let Danny, we let Vicky. That's how we let them.
Are we succeeding in mediocrity? I'm not sure what's going on.
Mediocrity, you and I, yeah. I think, Richard Sherman. Oh, yeah. By the way, we have to talk about that new show with Richard Sherman and Marshawn together. Stars on Mars. We'll talk about it later.
Oh, okay.
I watched it. But this is help wanted. And we will take all of your requests or, questions for advice at 206-803-ROCK. Call us or text us.
This one actually is a pretty good one. I thought this would be a fun one to start off with. The person just texted in this morning saying, how do you guys feel about separate vacations? Most of my family think it's odd that my wife and I are doing a separate vacation in the next few months. She's going to Vegas with some girlfriends to see Carrie Underwood. I'm going with some buds to England for AEW at Wembley Stadium. Oh, good on you. That's a great vacation, if you ask me. They say we will do a vacation together as well at some point, but I love AEW. She doesn't. And she loves Carrie Underwood, and I don't. So why not?
This is a thing that... my wife and I really, really have learned how to do, and it is that opposites attract, and the idea that you don't have to do everything with your spouse, which wasn't the case all the time in life. But yeah, vacations are really limited, and so you basically had to do family stuff. When I was growing up, it really felt like you had to do family stuff. But this is a different time where you really... you get more vacation time, or maybe you don't have to, you don't have kids or, whatever. I think it's completely healthy, but it's funny how people do get mad about it.
It's just weird when people get weirded out by what someone else is doing that seems to work for them. That's always the strangest thing in the first place. It's like, well, if it's working for these two, and if financially you can pull off a vacation for yourself and a vacation for your significant other, and then together you can still have something fun to do. I think it's important to still do a vacation together. I think that'd be unfortunate if you're like, I'd rather just have fun with everybody else but my significant other.
Yeah, I think there's jealousy, especially from dudes, because dudes tend to be happy wife, happy life, and would never even think of doing it. I mean, the one thing also in your relationship, Steve, I mean, you get to do a lot of stuff away from the family. That's your hobby. And, your wife is very cool about it. And and for you, I just feel like, your wife is married to you. So that's the bonus.
Well, I think the bonus, she gets a vacation from me.
Oh, I hadn't even thought about that.
Yeah. So when I go off to go do a day trip to Vancouver or Abbotsford, British Columbia, she doesn't have to deal with me for a day.
Well, see, my wife took that to why don't I just go live in a whole different place?
That's only one child she has to handle.
Yeah.
Way less farting. It's a way better day. No, yeah, I think it's important though to still have interest outside of what you guys do together. And this guy loves wrestling and she loves country music or Carrie Underwood. And why have to be miserable doing that together?
Yeah, I think that's a wonderful thing. I think the older you are, I am trying to figure that out in my own relationship, because it's like as I've done my own stuff in life, and there could be a time where my wife and I will be living together again. And if that happens, I've got to still feel like I can have this life I have. I have a great life kind of when she's not here. I built a new life where it's like I get to do whatever I want.
And then she comes and ruins it for you.
Well, my generation is that generation doesn't think you can have those separate times. I think it's in my head. I don't think my wife would mind, but my brain, when she's in town, I feel like I can't be with my friends. I can't do anything. I got to be with her the whole time. And I think it's because I got brainwashed by something. Maybe it was culture, society saying, you're married now. You do everything with your spouse. You can't have a separate fun time at all.
And that's what it sounds like the family's doing. I said, tell them to shut up. Or just be like, oh, cool, man. Good for you. You guys be miserable in your relationship. We're happy.
Here's a pro tip if you are in a family. Why do you think anybody needs to know your opinion about stuff?
Well, then what else were people going to talk about?
Yeah, Steve, that's a good point. How about
it's all about judging each other.
How about watch a show? Watch Ted Lasso and have conversations about that. I mean, you know what I mean?
Good luck.
Yeah, instead of all that, why bother people? It's jealousy. I would say to the texter, it's pure jealousy.
Oh, hold on, Danny.
I also have to put it because I actually had this conversation with my mom recently because my cousin and her boyfriend are doing separate vacations, and actually it was more of just the guy was going on. So my cousin is a girl, and the guy went on his own boys' vacation.
Okay,
and she called me and she was like, "I don't understand that. How does she let him go?" And I was like, "Why do you care?" And she was like, "Oh, well, I guess I just have issues." And I was like, "Yeah,
there you go.
But why?"
Woo!
And she was like, "I just would never trust a guy to go with his friends by himself."
Oh, because she thinks they're going to carouse.
Apparently. And I was like, "Well, why? Like, Mom, you've never been married, like you." And she's just like, "Well, I know, but I know how guys are, and I just would not trust him."
Ooh, well, then
that's so old school.
Then you'll never leave that person, have them leave the house if that's because you just never know where you might trip and fall and have sex.
Exactly.
Right.
Well, I will say this. I can't speak for your mom's culture, Danny. Obviously Hispanic, but in the Italian...
Wait, you're not a Hispanic woman?
I am not a Hispanic woman.
I thought you were an elderly Hispanic woman this entire time.
I have played one on TV, which is why it's so convincing. But I will say this, in Italian culture, and I grew up in an Italian household, 60s, 70s Italian culture, mistresses. And so people, and of course in the documentary, The Sopranos, obviously it was, everybody knew about the gumbari, I think as they called it, or gumadi, whatever it is that it's just in that generation, you just knew if I let him have time away, he's probably going to have a mistress because that's what dudes do, at least in the Italian culture. So if your mother also had that in her culture when she was a younger person, seeing that with all the adult men, it's tough to get out of her brain that that's not the way it is anymore. Yeah. Where, like, people your age, Danny, doesn't matter what your ethnicity is or what your culture is, you're not going to be a douche. You're actually just going to go out and have fun with your buddies, and it's not going to be carousing.
Yeah, just funny, though, that was her. And she was so adamant, again, like, they need to go on vacation together if she's not invited. And I was like... I had to talk her off
Plus,
the
it's
ledge.
boyfriend.
Like, Mom,
she let him go to work? I mean, with that attitude, like, you can't go to work. You might have sex with the coworker.
Yeah.
Plus, it's boyfriend, girlfriend. I think until you put a ring on it, I'm sorry. You still get to have your own life anyway.
Right? Someone says I go to Vegas solo every summer for 2 weeks for the World Series of Poker. Wife is fine with it. We also take 2 to 3 trips together each year. The other person says nothing wrong with separate vacations. My wife is going to Pismo Beach or Pismo Beach.
Pismo, yeah.
Pismo. While I'm taking the motorcycle to Sturgis. We have trips also planned together.
Oh man, everybody wins on that one. If you love bikes, sure, Sturgis is the way to go.
I did have one trip. I almost it didn't happen, but there was a potential of it happening where I was going to get to go to Florida to wrestle. And my wife, it was going to be over at a theme park as well. So like at Universal Studios. And so when I mentioned it to my wife, she's like, that's the trip I will go with you to. I'm like, all right, let's do it. Like,
oh yeah.
She's like, yeah, because we could just like for the day that you're doing whatever you have to do. And when I mentioned it's actually at the theme park, she's like, we could just hit the theme park and then either meet up, come watch you, or just meet up afterwards. I'm like, that would be it didn't happen, but I was like, that would have been the one where she's like, I'll go on that vacation with you.
Yeah, we had separate family vacations. We went to Hawaii for a Magic the Gathering tournament. Mm-hmm. And of course, Sarah and Kathy are like, we're all in, even though we're not going to go to the Magic the Gathering tournament. And it was so bizarre because, of course, Hawaii is amazing, which they got to explore all the amazingness of Hawaii, while Joey and I were in a convention center. And you'd think we'd be miserable. Of course, we both love playing Magic the Gathering, so that's what we did. So you can even do separate stuff while you're on vacation as a family.
I remember even I was on a vacation. It was a quote-unquote work conference, but it was in Miami, so it felt like a vacation. And I remember she was just like, I'll go with you to that one. Like, that sounds way more fun than Chicago. We did all the convention stuff, and she just sat poolside, read books, and chilled. And she's like, I had so much fun. It was so relaxing.
Yeah, I think the radio convention, nobody ever wants to go. It's like, where are you going? Chicago? Middle of the summer.
Atlanta. Oh, that's hot.
No. Oh, Miami. Yeah, all of a sudden, it was like, let's go to Miami.
And that was the best one because the guy who like the radio personality based out of there had the hookup for like the nice hotel.
Paul Castronovo's the man down. He knows everybody down there.
Dude, we got to stay at the hotel, and it was when the Heat won the championship that year.
That's right.
And all the players were in the hotel right next door to us because it was like these 2 super fancy hotels, and we got it was like $100 a night. It was like a ridiculous rate they gave us because of Paul. And man, that was crazy because it was just bedlam in that area because all the players were there.
Yeah, boy, I'll tell you right now, Paul knows how to leverage his success.
I remember my wife and I both. I'm like, who are all these random, really like over the top hot women that are just showing up?
Yeah,
in our
that was
area?
insane. I'm like, dude, what the hell? How is this next to our hotel?
It was like they just like found every single hot person from Miami and just had them just land right in our hotel.
Of course, I was there.
And you.
Yeah.
And then we realized, it's because of the NBA players are right next door, and they're all trying to hook up.
Had nothing to do with that. It was us, Steve.
Oh, it was just us.
They were there. They knew the radio people are in town. All the hot ladies wanted to.
This is crazy.
It was nuts, dude.
All right, we got another text. This one is
yes.
a workplace situation. So
all right, we're good at the workplace. Look at us, how we get along with everybody.
All right, this person said, so I'm a Class A truck driver and the only truck driver for the company in Washington that he works at, I guess. I make pretty good money per hour, but all the guys that I work in the shop seem to not like me because of how much I make, and I have leeway because of my downtime. I can do what I want, like wash my semi, and they get mad because of how much I make per hour. And I don't know exactly how much they make, but I have an idea, and I'm thinking I'm about double of what they're making.
How do they know what he's making?
That's
This is why, even though there is a movement out there with some people to share salaries and let you know, but I think that's a bad idea because human beings are competitive, and as soon as you find out, and when I found out what the host of my show was making one time, it changed everything.
Yeah.
I was so mad at the person that told me, and she went and did some digging, and it wasn't cool. You know, I don't know how she got this information, but she came back one day and she was like, this guy is making six figures, and this was over 30 years ago. And we all knew that he was doing well, but when you don't know
from all the boats that he was buying,
you kind of I think once it was out that he was doing well, he said, the hell with it, I'm not going to try to be like subtle about this anymore.
Stop hiding all
and he just bought
purchases.
boat after boat. I don't want to mention any names, but pretty much we've identified the guy if anybody remembers. But and it changed everything. I got bitter. You know, I remember sitting down and, I think my wife, really had a good conversation with me because I was not getting along to the point where I almost got fired. And we worked on it. We had some therapeutic techniques we did together. And eventually it was like, you know what it is? I hate that guy because I'm feel like I'm scratching for money here and he's making what he's making. And I'm like, damn it.
Which is so funny because it's like, I bet the big bosses love that. All of a sudden your anger is towards your coworker as opposed to the company that should be paying you more. And it's like it becomes less about that. It's like now all of a sudden you're holding ill will towards someone who, was able to get their money. However, it's like I shouldn't begrudge that person for getting money. I should just be, if I'm upset with what I'm getting paid, I should be upset with the company, not with him.
It's an interesting, so you make a good point. Unless, of course, the company is basically saying he's the only important one. We're going to give that person the boatload of money, and this is all with a lot for you. Sorry. We feel like your position is only worth this. And that's that. So it's a tough one to go like.
But still, then it's their fault, I feel.
Yeah. Or is it the host's fault for like basically not realizing, I got something good here. And I am like, they only have a budget. Like if the company says, look, we can only afford to pay the whole show X amount of dollars.
Sure.
And we think you are so amazing. We're going to give you basically 80% of that. Then the company's like, we're paying everybody what we can. I mean, look at if they show you the sheet, they go, look, this is what we make and this is what we're paying the show. We feel, if we do that, we just feel like that's not good for our bottom line. I can understand that.
Yeah, I mean, I see what you mean. I guess I come from my mindset has always been I want to get paid to what makes me happy, and I don't want to worry about what anyone else is making.
It's a great mindset, actually.
Because, like, let's just say I agree to an X amount of dollars. I'm like, that is awesome. But then I find out person sitting right next to me is making double that. That sucks. Yeah, sure. But I was like, 10 minutes ago before I found that out, I was very happy with what I was making.
So you got a better brain than me. When I found out that information, I know why I just said that. I strike that from the record.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Better in some ways, maybe. Worse in others.
Now, here's what I'll say to going back to the truck guy. Optics are everything. If they are busting their asses and you just look like you're having great leisure time, optics are hard, dude. I think that if you can be really humble and discreet with what you're doing in life so that, maybe you bring the guys some treats once in a while, maybe you buy some lunch once in a while, spreading it around. If you are, in fact, the rich guy of the shop, spreading it around and spreading goodwill, because that's what rich people used to do back in the day. They knew people made less than them. They knew they would have to interact with them. And the way to counteract bitterness, you see it in football. The big money players, like what do the quarterbacks do? They always, treat the offensive linemen to good stuff, give them like fancy gold stuff. Even though the fancy treats and the fancy dinners are still nowhere near the difference in pay like an OL will get as opposed to a QB, it's still goodwill that's spread that way. And you might want to think about that, because you're not going to convince people who work really hard and make less that you're a great guy. You're just never going to, it's just not going to happen. So goodwill, bribe the mother effers. That's the way to go.
So to maybe explain the training experience needed to get and maintain a CDL, perhaps some of those coworkers would like to become drivers, help and mentor them. Another person said, what's stopping them from getting their Class A license to drive a truck and make some money? Sounds like a bunch of crybaby bitches with no integrity.
Okay.
Well, I like he spelled integrity.
Yeah,
that's
sir. Even though Steve likes the way you spelled integrity.
Yep.
That never works. You will never lecture people who are feeling like they're downtrodden that it's their fault.
What if you're still on top of your truck blowing the horn?
Oh, yeah.
Just throwing money out of the window going, work harder, bitches.
Oh, if you're throwing money out the window, I'll let you say what you want to me. I mean, if money's floating in the air. I think it's a great idea. You're throwing money at me? Yeah, be cool to people. Give them a treat once in a while. I mean, that they'll at least go, all right.
What kind of treat, like a Hershey's Reese's peanut butter cup? Or
buy them lunch, buy them pizza. I mean, it sounds crazy, but spreading the wealth is an age-old tradition that works. Educating people about how you could be like me. All you got to do is da-da-da. It can sound arrogant, as opposed to, the idea that you just spread the wealth. That's what I would do. But hey,
says I buy food for the warehouse.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, I mean, especially since this texter feels like it is they get it. They get there's a problem. That's how you fix the problem. You're the king. You got to, got to give something to the peasants once in a while.
Do you wear a king's crown then?
You have to wear the king's crown when you give them pizza.
I feel like that might not help.
Get them some Moto pizza, man.
Okay.
Right? Then you're really the all-star. And he's got the cash to do it, right? Yeah. All right, well, you know what? Another segment of Help Wanted in the books. Again, 206-803-ROCK. That's the number to text if you have any problems you want us to help us with. We'll get you tomorrow. Meanwhile, this well-known singer said that an interaction with Jerry Seinfeld was one of the saddest moments of her life. What happened? You hear from her at 7:47 on The Rock.
Today's podcast was brought to you by Travis Gagne, bankruptcy attorney. He's here right now and has agreed to answer more of your questions about bankruptcy. If I call Travis, will I actually see him or someone who works for him?
Absolutely. When you come in to my office, when you first call in, my staff will try to help you with any basic questions that you have. I can give you a call back, but they'll usually try to schedule you for a free consultation with me, the attorney, and I'll meet with you personally. We'll talk about the basics of your case, and I'll take you through a question and answer session an interview that usually lasts about 30 minutes. We'll get the basics of your financial situation. I can answer your questions, and we can talk about whether bankruptcy makes sense, your non-bankruptcy options, and how bankruptcy could affect you, what the process is.
Thanks, Travis. If you have more questions about bankruptcy, you can reach out to Travis anytime at choosetherightchapter.com. That's choosetherightchapter.com. Thanks for listening.
Hey, this is BJ. Thanks for listening to our show's podcast. If you're a fan of all things geeky, you should check out my other podcast, BJ Shea's Geek Nation. We have new episodes every day, and you can check it out at bjgeeknation.com.
Your driver's license is important so you can get back and forth to work, get your kids to school, and back and forth to daycare. If your license has been suspended because you can't pay your tickets, you can't do any of those things. Let's talk about Chapter 13 bankruptcy. You may have heard that tickets cannot be discharged, but they can be dealt with in a Chapter 13 case. Why not come in for a free consultation? The chapter you choose will make all the difference to your getting back legally on the road. Let's design a plan to pay off your tickets and restore your license immediately. I'm attorney Travis Gagne. Please contact me today at choosetherightchapter.com. That's choosetherightchapter.com.
99.9 KISW, The Rock of Seattle. Boy, the headline, "Don't Ever Meet Your Heroes." I remember this story too. This was tough because back in 2017, pop singer Kesha, she does tick-tock on the clock. That one, yeah.
Oh, man, it sounded better than her version.
Oh, yeah.
I don't think I could ever listen to her version again. Granted, I've never listened to that version, but I think I'll only listen to yours.
Why do you think she's out of business, man? I just knocked her out with my version.
Mm-hmm.
Now, she, of course, a great singer, and she went viral because she tried to hug Jerry Seinfeld on the red carpet of a charity event.
I remember that, and it was epic audio. He shot her down it was almost savage how much he shot her down.
And, she was a big pop star. He obviously had no idea.
Right.
Here's how that went down. And we have the video on the BJ and Migs page of KISW.com.
Because it's hard to just sleep when you're tired. Because people are tired most of the time.
Gosh, I love you so much.
Oh, thanks.
Can I give you a hug?
No, thanks.
Please?
No, thanks.
A little one.
Yeah, no, thanks.
That
was a nice moment. I don't know who that was.
Yeah, it was Kesha.
Okay. Well, I wish you the best.
And he does not know.
Still doesn't know who.
Does not know who Kesha is.
I mean, shout out to her. She did address who she was. Like, I'm Kesha. Can I have a hug? And he looks at her like, who the hell are you? And he kept stepping back. Like,
yeah, that's tough. When you got to know that not everybody's going to know you, and you need an introduction. And and Jerry's he's a unique individual. He's not exactly the warmest guy, and I'm not surprised. He's just like, I'm not wanting to hug people I don't know. That sounds like Jerry to me.
But she looked so excited, and you could see her walking up there, and she was like her smile was lighting up the room, and then it was just awkward city.
And I mean, I can feel for her because that's a shoot down in front of everybody, and you just you don't expect that. And also, it's one of your heroes. She loved his show.
But see, I'm a guy who's been cursed out by Billy Joel, and I love that more than ever. I would have ever loved if I got an autograph or a picture. So to me, I'd be like, I'd much rather get shot down by Jerry Seinfeld and have that moment, and also it's caught on video. That to me would be amazing.
One man's amazing moment, another person's trauma or saddest moment of her life.
I get to the charity event and I got really excited because he brings me peace and love and all things good in the universe. And then he didn't hug me in front of cameras. And it was like the most depressing and hilarious, but also so sad. It was like the saddest moment of my life.
Well, you're living a pretty damn good life, Kesha, if it's the saddest moment
I think that's
of
a
your
little
life.
exaggerated, but I do at least appreciate she acknowledged that it was hilarious.
Yeah, and I'm sure it's just hyperbole, but it's an interesting thing, and back when this happened, not too long after, Jerry was doing an interview, and folks said, hey, Jerry, what about that rejected Kesha hug?
I'm 63. I don't know every pop star. I don't know everyone. Well, I was right in the middle of an interview. It was a little off. I don't hug a total stranger. I have to meet someone.
She must have really liked you.
I'm sure I would have liked her, but I need to know, who are you?
She's been watching you for years.
But the TV only works one way. I can't
I know.
see out who's watching. I know him. He doesn't know me.
No,
and she was very nice about it. We laughed about it.
Did you?
Yeah.
Did you hug her afterwards?
No.
Oh, God bless you, Jerry Seinfeld.
And what you can't see in the interview, but if you check it out, the dude interviewing Jerry finally is, I guess, Jerry, hey, how about a hug?
And Jerry hugged him.
And Jerry did hug him.
Which would only piss off Kesha even more.
I have to say, I don't disagree with Jerry in any of this. I mean, he's very reasonable. It's like, look, I don't hug strangers. What do you want me to do? I didn't know who she was. And there is that assumption, he did say, look, I got to know you before I hug you, which in normal society, you can't just go up and hug people. You kind of got to know them. If I
Lord knows I try.
Yeah, well, I mean, we got
put it here.
We got 2 new people at the office. Should I just go hug them before I even meet them?
Yeah, I did.
How'd that go?
Great.
Wow, good for you.
We're following each other on Facebook now. No.
Maybe you know what? Because I look like, Gary
No,
Ridgway.
of course you can't.
Yeah, and so...
Have you ever been in a situation, happens a lot in wrestling, like you show up to the event, and sometimes you know a handful of people, and sometimes you don't know anybody. So it's like always like this. Once you get there, it's typical tradition to go and say hello to everybody, shake their hand, or just what. But of course, it turns into a bunch of bro hugs, or just hugs with the people that you haven't seen. So you hug, and then you see someone you've never met before, and you're like, do I go for the hug? Will they be insulted if I don't? Because there have been times where I'm hugging everybody, and I see the other person like, "Hi, I'm Steve," and I put out my hand, and they give you a look like, "What? You can't hug me too?"
Oh, I think you were completely normal there.
Yeah, but there have been some times where people look at me like I'm like, oh, what? You're giving everyone else hugs, but not me. I'm like, well, I don't know who the hell you are. I'm not gonna hug some random person I never met before.
That's dumb. I mean,
at the end of the night when we've had a conversation, let's hug like maniacs.
That's guy code, man.
Yeah.
I mean, I really feel like the average dude, if you don't know the average dude, you do the handshake. And especially, I think, for women as well, it's like, I don't go in for the hug if I don't know you. Mm-hmm. After the fact, if, like you said, if I know you, whatever, if I feel like, we that we get along, sure.
Have you ever gone in for a hug thinking that they wanted to hug you too, but they didn't?
Dude.
That's the worst.
Dude, I really thought for sure this was a hug moment because of just how I thought we felt about each other.
Uh-oh.
And it was not.
Can you say who?
Yeah, I will, and you will. You might be shocked, or maybe not.
I'm trying to think of like who could it be?
Well, the one guest that I always say I think was always a special guest to the show and a friend of the show, and you laugh because you go, no one is a friend of the show. They come in and promote their thing, and they're gone.
It's Simon Pegg.
That's the one.
Did you hug him,
dude? I went for a hug because I was so happy to see him because it had been a while. And he was like, what the hell's happening? And I'm like, dude, I took you to a ball game. I feel like this is a hug-worthy moment.
I gave you a foot long, man. Hug my ass.
And I realized, that's when I realized it meant more to Nick Frost, his buddy that he does a lot of movies with. And I think Nick Frost would have given me a hug. Whereas Simon Pegg, I think, was like, I don't know if we got this, buddy. I mean, we're friends. I'll shake, but I don't know about the hug.
Do you not remember the conversation we had finally when we kept talking about the hot dog thing? And I was like, I hate to break it to you, BJ, but one time we recorded a video with Nick Frost. He's like, I don't remember this hot dog thing.
Oh, no. I totally forgot that.
Remember, it was when we filmed
something. He doesn't remember the foot long?
No.
Friggin' Nick Frost.
We did it. It was like, I think it was when we were doing it was like an anniversary or something about, we were getting a bunch of like celebrities to film, hey, congratulations, BJ. I can't remember what it was for. Duff McKagan did.
Oh, it was probably my 10th year on the air.
Might have been.
Yeah.
I can't remember if it was that or something.
Or something, maybe I was getting honored at boot camp for the convention for something.
I don't remember, but they were back in studio and we had Nick in the other room like, hey, can you just record a video? And he's like, well, what do you want me to say in this? And I think Vicky or somebody, whoever was with me, said, I'll just bring up the story about the hot dog. And he's like, I don't remember the story about the hot dog. And we're like, oh, we thought you did.
Okay, you had to remind him. I bet if you said, remember you were at the ball game and you never had a foot-long hot dog before, he probably would remember that.
Oh, we did say that. And then he looked at us.
He still didn't remember?
And he said, okay.
Oh, that's pissing me off now. Because I had to jump through hoops to get that hot dog.
Yeah. What hoops did you have to jump through? You got to buy a hot dog with your money.
That was it. It was my money. Nick Frost had more cash than me, but I'm buying him a hot dog. All right. You know what? They're dead to me now. I'm never having either one of them on the show.
That was still one of my favorite moments, though. BJ and all of us, like, we all went to the Mariners games, like Mariners opening day. You ended up going with the guys from Shaun of the Dead, which was really cool. Like, you went with Simon, Edgar, and Nick Frost, and I was wasted, Danny. Because after the broadcast, then there was like some kind of like client get together from one of the beer sponsors, and they just had all the free drinks.
Nice.
And I'm drinking. So I lost BJ and all those guys. I eventually find them at the seats, and I just come back over. I'm like hammered, and I see all three of them eating their hot dogs, and I'm like, I'm too drunk to be around you guys.
Yeah, you had to go.
I turned around, like, nothing good's going to come in this. Because I'm like, what's up, everyone? And they're just sitting there peacefully eating footlongs. I'm out.
Dude, that was the moment that there was that one sales guy that I hated for the rest of his career here. I swore in my brain, I go, I'll never do anything for this guy again. Because when they asked me to go get them a hot dog, this was me the whole thing came up because Simon had said they had never been to a baseball game ever. And Nick Frost was like, and I'll never add a footlong ever. Mm-hmm. And it was like, I wasn't going to go to the game. I had other plans, but I thought, well, all right, this is, these guys were so good to us on the show. All right, I will spend the afternoon. I went and got them stuff because, again, being good to the guests. And one of the sales guys sleazes into my seat. And I don't get to sit in my seat for the rest of the game.
Nice.
And I know that's a sales guy tactic. And I was
trying to get them to buy advertising.
I don't know what he was doing. Probably like, hey, I'm a sales guy, attitude guy. I'm going to slide in here and I'm going to get to talk to a big star. And so I'm sitting there just going, here's your hot dogs over. And while the guy is in my seat and doesn't move, and I'm like, and he was just that attitude, sort of like alpha male attitude. And I'm like, you can alpha male right now in my brain. I'm going to be a professional. But guess who's never ever getting anything from me again? I will not help you at all, to the point where I was celebrating when he got fired. I was just like, thank God you're a douche. And
he's like the guy, like, you went to go get a girl a drink and he just swooped in and started flirting with that lady, and they ended up spending the rest of the night together.
That's why I sometimes pull salespeople aside and go, you need to know when to shut that part of your personality off, because that just is not cool. It's like, because I hated that guy forever, and it was like, sometimes he wanted stuff done, and I felt like a real bitter ex-girlfriend, but I was like, I ain't doing it.
You should have just texted me, boned out, and then got drunk with me.
I should have, dude. Yep. I really should have.
Then we could have went over there and embarrassed the guy.
Man, I was so pissed. I was happy with myself that I did not make a scene. You know me, Steve. I can make scenes.
I would have been so sad if you made a scene and I wasn't there for that.
I know, but
I would have legitimately been. That would be one of my life's greatest regrets, to have you melt down and miss it in front of the guys from Shaun of the Dead.
I wasn't going to do it. Plus, we had the client, that was helping us get those tickets. I said, I got to be better than this. Oh, I was so mad. So mad. All right, so there's a new survey talking to music fans, and they said, okay, you want to see a concert, how far have you gone to make that happen?
Ooh. Okay, I'm trying to think of like the bands that I guess going back to New York to see Weezer.
Nice.
When they first got back together. So like they put out those couple of records, then, Rivers kind of went off the deep end and locked himself in an apartment with no lights or whatever, like all these crazy stories that had been about Rivers, and had a tough time when the second record didn't do well. So a lot of us Weezer fans never thought they were going to get back together. And then they got back together, did a show at the Showbox and supported the Green record, which eventually came out, their third record. And then they ended up doing a show in New Jersey and New York at like Irvine Plaza, I think it was, or Irving. I can't remember what the hell the name of the place is. And then the Stone Pony in New Jersey, like the Bruce Springsteen.
You specifically said, I'm going to go out for this.
I had a friend that was able to get tickets to those shows, and I flew out solely to see Weezer. So that would be the longest I've intentionally gone somewhere to go see a concert.
That's a good amount of miles.
I have no idea how many miles that is, but it's a lot, right?
It's
1,500-ish?
I think you're right, yeah. Because 15% of the fans go, they've traveled 500 miles or more.
Ooh.
It sounds like a Proclaimer song.
BJ, I feel like you probably haven't traveled, maybe about the furthest is the Gorge, if that.
Yeah.
I was going to say, I don't see you as a person that's going to like travel out of your way to go see a concert.
No, not really. I'm not a live music guy like other people. I don't know why that is in my brain. I mean, when I'm there, I have a good time. But most of the time I'm working events anyway. So it's sort of like, you're right. I'm not going to travel. There's no band that I love enough to go travel that far. As opposed now, if you tell me it's some sort of, board game convention or something, I will travel very far for that. And they've asked people, hey, which artists have inspired them to travel the farthest? And so in average miles, you said Weezer, at least on the list I have, not there. But they went to musical categories. So the furthest heavy metal artist you've traveled to see.
Okay.
And and so Slayer is at the top.
I can see that. I mean, that band's been around forever, and I can see some people wanting to see them before they call it a day. Sadly, they've lost a couple members. I mean, not all. One passed away, and then another one's just not in the band anymore. And I got to imagine some people just want to make sure they see them before they're completely done.
Yeah. So
are they done now? I thought they did wrap things up now.
Yeah, they did. Yeah. They did their last tour.
Yeah. So I mean, so I imagine this was just from whoever they asked in the survey saying that they went 153 miles. That doesn't seem all that hard.
No, not at all. I mean, really, that's like a little over 2 hour drive if you drive
that's
60.
Like nothing.
Yeah. I mean, I think I have done that. I went to the Gorge, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's
What about you, Danny?
I was thinking about it. It's one of two, and they're both in California, but they're from different like starting points. So I flew in like 2008 from Albuquerque to Southern California to see Bamboozle Left, which was this big festival, kind of like a Warped Tour type thing.
Yeah.
But I don't know if that was further or if going from Seattle to San Jose was further. That I guess I say that out loud. That doesn't seem right. But I went to go see the final Warped Tour.
Yes,
and that was a destination as well. And then I also have tickets to go see When We Were Young, this version in October from Seattle to Vegas.
Yeah.
But all of that, and it's all flights. So I mean, at that point, probably 400 or 500 miles. But
yeah, I think these are the average is what I'm thinking, which does make it more impressive. Like, if a band is coming, like for the most part, we get to see them in our area. We don't have to travel that far. Usually, because being a major city, we get to see pretty much almost everybody. But every once in a while, for some reason, they skip Seattle. Sometimes they'll go to Portland. Sometimes they'll go to Vancouver, and they don't do us for some reason. And then you can maybe go, okay, what band gets people to go, I will drive 2 hours plus to see them? And that's where you got Slayer, Megadeth, and Slipknot. Those are the three bands that people will travel to see on average. That's an average amount of miles.
So instead they drove from Tacoma to Spokane by themselves to catch one of the last Slayer concerts.
Nice.
That's a good ride.
See, I think it would have to be a final concert for me to travel somewhere. Like if the Offspring were like, hey, which I don't know why they would do this, but if they were like, it's our final show and we're playing New York City and that's going to be it for the Offspring, then I would probably try to make that happen.
For me, it's like if I find out a band, like the Weezer one's the best example for me. It's like a band that I didn't think was getting back together.
Right. Yeah.
And I was such a massive fan at the time. So the idea of getting to see them, and I already saw them in Seattle, But I was like, I want to see them as many times as possible because who knows if they're ever going to tour again with the way that Rivers was. He was like a guy that just kind of went, disappeared for an extended period of time.
Yeah, I really wish that, and even still, they did do like a little extreme examples of these, but 500 miles is still, to me, like you said, see, people have traveled further than that. So I'm not sure what this article is getting at, to be honest with you, because when they go with the fans of rock music, I think this has to be average. You'll be surprised at the top 3 people that travel. Oh. Like top 3 traveling, like people go, I will travel a lot of miles to see this band for rock. I don't think you guess the top 3. You might get one of the top 3.
Pearl Jam. No, Ryan Castle just walked in. Ryan and I, before the stupid world shut down, we were going to fly to Oakland. Luxurious, beautiful Oakland, the home of the Oakland A's.
We had rooms at like a Holiday Inn next to the Oakland airport.
Oh, we were going full high budget.
We were going to get a pool day in. Yeah, it was going to be great.
We were going to get wasted and go see Pearl Jam.
Yeah. I tell you this right now, boys. It's these top 3 bands. I'm afraid not a band that's currently touring.
Oh.
Yeah, no, and that's what's how crazy is it that these bands
I'm talking like the Grateful Dead.
No, you know what? The Grateful Dead also not on the top 3. Yeah, I would have thought that too, Steve. Not the Grateful Dead.
So Miles Thrill and I traveled a couple of years ago to Aftershock in Sacramento to see Metallica.
Yeah,
are they on the list?
Well, they're not in the top 3.
Oh, okay.
I'm sure they're on the list if you go top 10.
So Metallica's playing like Saturday at Aftershock or something, and we went down on Friday and went so off the rails on Friday that we made it to Aftershock in time to see Aaron Jones open that day at 1:00, and then I was like, I got to go back to the hotel and take a nap, dude. Like I just need a few minutes. We had lost Miles, and so I go back to the hotel and I lay down and I open my eyes and it's 9 p.m. I flew all the way to Sacramento to see Metallica. Didn't see Metallica.
So you didn't even go?
Didn't even make it. No, it was over at that point. I was like, I guess I'm not going to see Metallica.
Maybe I'll catch the encore.
I guess I'll go back to the bar.
Exactly. How far have you? How far have you traveled?
Rested. You were well rested for the bar.
I think if we had a top 10, how far have you traveled to drink? Yes, you guys in the men's room definitely have got everybody beat.
I flew to New York to see Queens of the Stone Age one time and almost missed the show because my flight was delayed, and then I had to turn around and come back. I think I spent a grand total of 7 hours in New York, and I saw half of Queens of the Stone Age, and then turned around and went back to the airport.
I have to tell you, sir, are a professional.
But, okay, I didn't travel this far to see him, but I saw Green Day in Nashville. I love whenever we go anywhere like radio conventions. We were doing a radio convention in Nashville. My first thing I do whenever I know where we're going is to get on like one of those music websites to see what bands are playing while you're there. Because then it's just like, oh, well, if I'm in town. I remember going to see Green Day in Nashville, and it was awesome.
Yeah, that's pretty lucky.
Because when you go to Nashville, that's the first thing you think of is seeing a pop punk band.
Of course.
Is it Fish?
No, this is surprising. These band, one of the bands doesn't even exist anymore. The other one semi exists, but not really.
Oh, it's Bad Company.
Pink Floyd is the band that people on average travel the furthest to see. And I don't know if David Gilmour, I don't know if it counts if it's not.
Roger Waters still goes out and does it. He's on
same.
tour right now. I don't think that counts. Like if Pink Floyd got back together with the remaining members and like David Gilmour and Roger Waters buried the hatchet and went on tour, I would travel to see that show.
I wouldn't travel far, but I would definitely go to the Gorge.
I would probably go to like Moda Center in Portland.
Yeah, it's so weird that these stats
twist our arms, massive reunion. Right. I'm willing to drive a couple of hours.
I'll take the train if the bar car's open.
That's about what people do. 134 miles to travel to see Pink Floyd. That's about a 2-hour trip. Number 2 on the list. I mean, really, it's the voice of the Seattle sound. Nirvana. Only people just 1 mile off of Pink Floyd. That was the band that people would travel, a long way to go to see on average. Nirvana.
Wow.
Well, what does that say about the band?
I'd travel all the way to New York if they could get back together.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's it. But
that would be newsworthy.
Yeah.
If Nirvana got back together with the original lineup.
I would do it for any kind of version of Nirvana, though. Right. Like if they're like, hey, we're doing New York, and I was able to get tickets to it, of course, I would make that trip to go see the remaining members of Nirvana with whoever fronting the band.
Yeah, like when they did that All-Star Jam thing, when Joan Jett did songs with them. And I would
that'd be a hell of a show.
Yeah, for sure.
Number 3, a real shock. Again, just because it's a band you'd want to go see. We like their music. There's been a resurgence, but I don't know if I would want to see them in concert to drive this far. Fleetwood Mac, the number 3 band that people will travel a distance to go see.
Here's a fun fact about Fleetwood Mac. I never liked that band.
Hey,
Hey, I just listened to Rumors for the first time, and it was better than I thought it was going to be.
And
so maybe I could see them.
They're great.
Here's the thing. Some people want to throw them in the yacht rock category, let alone just the
some of
regular
it,
rock.
sure.
Yeah. And yet it's still like rock. I mean, back when I was a boy, that was no yacht rock. That was rock.
So I flew to Denver to see Sammy Hagar at Red Rocks. Also flew to New Jersey to see my buddy's band at the Stone Pony.
All right.
Yeah, this article confuses me because it's like I feel like we've all traveled further than the furthest they've given us. They go, well, people, the longest we've seen is 500 miles to go see a band. And it's like Steve's already broken that by going to see Weezer in New York.
Well,
so I don't even
I guess
know.
it's the people that they surveyed.
Yeah,
it's the question too. I don't know. I'm not too caught up in that part.
Also, what that Proclaimer song was about.
To see Pearl Jam.
500 miles.
I see what you did there.
I'll see myself out. Thanks, guys.
Yeah. Well, listen, you know what? I would say it was good talking to you, but I'm really trying to be honest these days. There's a guy that faked his own death and had his wife and kids help him with the lie. And this was all to teach someone a lesson. I'll tell you why he did this at 8:17 on The Rock.
BJ and Migs, mornings on The Rock, 99.9 KISW.
99.9 KISW, The Rock of Seattle. Anytime I see any story coming from TikTok, I'm always suspicious and wary, but okay. There's this guy, David. He's from Belgium. Decided he would teach his family a lesson about the importance of staying in touch with each other by faking his own death. Okay. Hate this guy already. But anyway, we'll just keep going.
That sounds like something you would say at dinner with like your wife and kids. That you just, I didn't family. I got to fake my own death to bring everyone together. But that's where it ends. Everyone be like, you know what? That's a great idea, Dad. Let's do it.
Yeah, the amount of emotional trauma, if in fact this is real, I do suspect this is not real. But you know how TikTok is. Doesn't matter if it's real, as long as I get, as long as I get likes and clicks and things.
Yeah, but the way from what I'm reading in the story, it didn't end like positively. So I mean, like, if it was fake, you would feel like, okay, well, you would be making this to make you look good, but it kind of, at the end, you're like, oh, this guy's kind of pathetic.
Well, David did have his wife and kids help him with this lie. One of his daughters posted online about her heartbreak at her father's passing as his extended family came together at his funeral. So there was a funeral?
Yes.
Okay. As they came to pay their respects, David made a dramatic arrival in a helicopter.
So, okay, they have money. I was about to say, how do you do this? Because you have to actually rent a funeral home. But then if you have the cash to rent a helicopter, you probably got the cash to do this.
He had a camera crew along with him, and he shared more insight into why he did this. He said, quote, "What I see in my family often hurts me. I never get invited to anything. Nobody sees me. We all grew apart. I felt unappreciated. That's why I wanted to give them a life lesson." You are a tool shed, by the way. This guy is a tool shed if it's real.
Well, does he really think this is going to help him get invited to Thanksgiving by pulling off a prank, quote unquote, like this?
Yeah,
I'd be like, dude, David's done. He's out of the family.
Especially if I had to travel a distance or like get a plane ticket and all this to be at his funeral,
and people are all wearing black and they're crying, dude. I mean, it's a pretty impressive. If this is all fake, they got a pretty good crew of people hamming it up for this fake bit.
Yeah, I don't know what to think about. I think you're right, Steve. Maybe he did punk his whole family, but I would be livid. I'd be like, what the hell is this? Is this just...
Especially if I had to buy a shirt. Sometimes I have to go to these things. I'm like, oh, I got to go to Macy's and buy like a $60 button-up shirt for a funeral.
Yeah.
I'd be so mad at him. Like, give me $60. And I'd rip the shirt in front of him.
Yeah. That would be the least I would do. He was like, you shouldn't have to wait until someone's dead to meet with them. So that's his whole, he's all upset about it.
I understand the sentiment. I don't know if you necessarily need to turn it into a giant prank.
He said that only half of his family bothered to turn up for his funeral. How about you just throw a party for your family?
Favorite part, dude. That even with this point he's trying to prove, still half of his family didn't care enough to go to his funeral.
Yeah, that's why I don't know about this. Again, everyone's trying to get TikTok famous, and he did the whole thing, I gather, to be TikTok famous, right? Because he had the camera crew.
I don't know.
He put it up on TikTok. It seems such an unreasonable thing to do where you could have just thrown a party. That's what I would have done if, okay, nobody loves me. Maybe if I throw a party and offer to buy food for everybody, they'll show up, go, hey, free food.
I don't know if they would have, though. Sounds like if they don't want to come to his funeral, they're probably not going to go to his party.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, funeral is the one thing. Wow.
If a family member dies, I'm going to make it my whatever I can pull off to get there. However I can make it happen, I'm going to make it there. But if a family member's throwing a party, Like, dude, guys, I'm in Washington State. You guys are in New York. I'm not coming all the way out.
What if I bought your ticket? Like, in other words, I you had a place to stay on me. I paid for your plane ticket.
I mean, it would make the decision a little harder, definitely. But like, it's still a process. I mean, it's okay. What are we gonna do with our kid? What about work? What about this? What about that?
Yeah.
With a funeral, it's like, I will figure all that out because you have to be there.
That is a good point, and still half of them didn't do it.
That's what I mean.
Half of them didn't do it.
Yeah, I don't know if he got the lesson that he was hoping to, or the thing he was trying to prove. If anything, it just proved that, yeah, you're right. No one likes you in your family. Half of your family didn't come to the funeral.
And you got money. And they still don't like you. Usually people try to glom on you if you've got a little cash.
I mean, look, I'm not here to judge someone based on their looks, but he looks like a giant D-bag.
Oh, let me see this guy. I haven't seen him.
He just got like that look.
Oh, he surely does. Yeah, look at him. He does it. And I don't.
It doesn't look like he's fun at parties. He looks very serious and angry.
Yeah. And do you think he's got money? Or did he just blow money he shouldn't have blown on the helicopter?
He's got the button-down shirt buttoned down to his navel, and he's got some chains. I feel like he's got some coin.
Yeah, I you're right. There's a lot about this guy I just don't like. And I'm not sure what to make of it. And again, the TikTok doesn't help.
It does suck. Like, the whole saying about giving people flowers before they pass. Like, it is a bummer. Like, when you think about like what would that like? Because like you would hope that would be a celebration of your life when you pass, but you don't even get to enjoy that moment, like because you're gone.
You're gone, man.
Yeah, but
it's
like,
over.
I feel like wouldn't it be amazing to be able to know what that would feel like to have all the people like gather because they love you that much that they all want to be together.
The thing is that there's no way to do that because something chemical happens in people when somebody does die. All of a sudden, there's something that goes off in your brain where even if they're the worst person in the world, you kind of remember all the good times.
Yeah, like, I mean, even like a birthday party, it's like you feel loved, obviously, but it's not that.
Because you're still alive.
Yeah.
And I'm still I still got a lot of bitterness. But I've known that, like, switches have flipped in me when someone's dead. I'm like, well, you know what? And then my brain just wants to remember all the good times. It's like,
100%.
Boy, just 5 minutes ago I hated these people. but now that they're gone.
It's like, okay, I should stop being mad at them for these trivial things. Obviously, they don't know because they're gone. But like, yeah, it's such a weird thing.
Yeah, you're right. If there's a way I could flip that switch when they're alive.
Well, he tried. It clearly doesn't work that way.
Yeah, no, the people are like, how bad is that? Half the people like, whatever.
What did he think was going to be the end result? Like, everyone's sad. The ones that did show up, they're sad, they're crying, they're wearing black. And then he comes out of a helicopter. They think everyone's going to be like, woo, get the champagne?
I would be, I'd be so mad at him if I really thought he was dead because, you go through grieving.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that is such a horrible thing to do to somebody. At that point, I'd be like, you are such a douche. Now, there are other people probably going, well, I got some free drinks. What do I care?
Yeah.
Or maybe that's what they were hoping.
He better have catered it.
You do, funerals, usually they have a nice after party. A lot of cultures have good after parties.
The only way I'd be okay with it if all of a sudden on another helicopter, out comes the members of Metallica and they perform a short, like, acoustic set for us. Then I'd be like, all right, I'll give you a pass.
All right. Then you are really pissed if you're one of the people named Steve that go, I'm not flying across the country for this.
Wait a second. His funeral had Metallica there?
Yes.
If he would have said something, I would have been there.
Steve, you better go to every party somebody has. You just don't know.
You just never know if Metallica is going to show up.
That's a good point. It could happen. Oh, man. So, as you know, Father's Day is coming up this weekend.
Oh, crap. Is it?
Yeah.
All right. I forgot.
A touching memory from you to your father.
I'll have to make sure I'm home.
You have to make sure you're home? Oh, you mean for your family?
Yeah.
Oh, they probably won't do anything for you.
No, I'm kidding.
Yeah. They won't. The Father's Day.
We've been in talks.
Could you say, I just want to be without you guys on Father's Day? You can't say that with a toddler.
No, and I also don't want to.
No, I'm just saying, could you? I mean, yeah, you want to, but I mean, sometimes there are dudes that go, I would just like a moment of peace.
Just leave me the F alone.
I mean,
I can understand that, but no, I don't think I would.
You can't do that with a toddler.
I don't know if I could or couldn't. I would never try.
Yeah.
I mean, look, guys, for Father's Day, leave. Give me the day alone.
If my kids didn't let me have a simple day, because they know me, like my wife for Mother's Day likes to do these elaborate things, and it drives me crazy. It's like, God, I mean, I don't want to be involved in all this, but but me, I'm like, look, dude, if you want to get me some food, we'll play some board games. How about that?
Yeah, we have big plans.
What are you guys doing?
Minor plans, actually, but we're making spaghetti pie.
Ooh. Oh,
and that's by request by me, Dad.
Oh, really? You like spaghetti pie?
I love spaghetti pie. And my daughter brought it up the other day. She was just like, we're playing Yeti in my spaghetti. Great game. I recommend you bring it out during your board game nights.
Okay, I'll give that some consideration.
And she's just going on this tangent about how she wanted spaghetti and also pizza. And I'm like, there's a thing called spaghetti pie. It's like a pizza. It looks like a pizza, but it's just spaghetti. And then I had to go pull it up on my phone and show her pictures, and both of us started drooling over this. So I was like, we should have that for Father's Day. And then we'd let Mom know. Like, that's what we want.
Oh, nice.
So I'm pretty fired up about it.
Yeah, spaghetti pie is pretty tasty.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, it is. It's not bad. So you're hanging at home, too?
Yes. What are we going to do on Sunday?
Well, I thought you guys would go out and, party, hit the streets. Okay, a little pub crawl with a 3-year-old.
Dan, you got big plans for Father's Day?
Going to a Mariners game.
Oh, you're
that's
going.
Right.
Yeah.
Lily's in town. I forgot for Father's Day. That worked out nice.
What's the promotional thing they're doing for Father's Day?
It's I think it's a bottle opener.
Nice.
And it talks.
I remember
that's cool.
One year they did T-shirts and it said #1 on the back and Dad.
Yeah.
And I went on the day. I wasn't a dad at the time. And I got one. And I was so fired up about it. I wore it all the time.
I think this year is going to be the first year that Lily actually gets me like a #1 dad type thing. Because I found something in her closet the other day when she was asking me to help her clean some stuff. And she's like, Dad, don't look. And I was like, okay, I won't
she
look.
got you something.
Oh, yeah. She always does.
Yeah.
See, Ahmed, the day before, Mariners are doing the Steelheads jersey giveaway. I want one of those so bad.
And they're doing fireworks the night before too.
Oh.
But it's become a tradition ever since last year when we went and we got in the field. And now Lily's like, let's go get on the field again on Father's Day. And I was like, well,
that's cool.
I don't think that's going to happen, but we can go to the game. And
you never know.
She's stoked, man. She's so excited.
She's
to go.
been your good luck charm at sporting events. Gotten you on the jumbotrons. Gotten you on the field.
Almost got hit in the head with the ball one year.
Yeah, we tried really hard to hit you in the head with that ball.
Sure
Lily
did.
set it all up perfectly, and it's just it backfired.
I've even brought balls and just thrown them at your head, but they keep missing you. So it's just, there's a foul ball back. Okay, here's my chance.
All right, so are you doing anything crazy then for Father's Day, or are you just
it's like I told you.
Leave me the F alone?
We're going to have board games and they'll give me some food. Which I'm very, very happy about because I just, unless they go, hey, we got plans, you don't got to think.
Mm-hmm.
I love that because I just hate having to think about anything. I just want to just like chill.
Someone wants to know what spaghetti pie is. What is it? Why am I picturing a bowl of spaghetti and a normal pie crust? It's basically just spaghetti pushed down and look like a pie, and then you cut it into there's more to it. If you Google it, there's
not even a crust, right?
No, the spaghetti itself is the crust.
Yeah.
And it's just like this giant pie that is made. It's just pressed down spaghetti noodles. Yeah, and then you can put some cheese on it and do other sauce, of course.
Yeah, it's just spaghetti in another awesome way.
Yes, it's especially good the next day.
I mean, maybe there's something in there that allows it to be pie-like. It could just be the spaghetti, like you said, the spaghetti itself. Just
maybe we make it on Saturday. That way, it's really good on Sunday.
Oh, listen, I'm not going to get in the way of your plans. Then you have a whole free Sunday to do nothing.
Yeah.
All right, that's a pretty good deal.
Extra sitting around and doing nothing. I like this.
That's the key, man. That's what I like. Well, this is awesome chat on Reddit, and it's got a Father's Day theme. And they're like, what is your best one time my dad story?
Oh,
one time my dad did, one time my dad.
One time my dad faked his own death to see how my family would react to it.
Great dad story. Yeah. Oh, man. And, I don't think my kids have a good story because I'm just a regular lame.
All right, let's bring them in. I bet they can come up with something.
They got no story.
I know my first one is easy. One time my dad beat up Santa Claus.
That's a great story.
The greatest story of all time.
Yeah.
Poor Uncle Frank.
Poor Uncle Frank, just trying to give joy to you and your brother.
Came into the house dressed as Santa, unannounced. That's the most important part of the story. Dad heard ho, 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 us screaming in excitement, flew down the stairs, and just tackled him and just like straight up hammer fisted the dude.
Yeah.
And he's just crying, Bill, it's your uncle, it's Uncle Frank. And then my dad's cursing him out for not telling us that he was coming.
I feel like your mother knew.
No, nobody knew.
Nobody knew.
Uncle Frank was.
Oh, yeah, you got to let somebody know.
He was his own dude. I love the guy, but he seemed to be not very well liked by everyone else in the family.
Yeah.
He was eclectic and different and loud, and he just would do things however he wanted to do them. And he just thought, I'm going to show up unannounced and just walk into your house dressed as Santa Claus.
To his defense, though, I mean, it is Santa Claus.
I felt like it's looking back on it, rather harmless.
I think you have to at least benefit of the doubt. Go, what is happening here?
What kind of house robber shows up dressed as Jolly Saint Nick?
And then, and then slow roll the robbery. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah,
coming and going ho and bringing gifts.
Yeah.
What criminal shows up to a house with gifts for the people he's robbing?
Yeah,
from?
your father really, I think, was just a little too on it.
He crossed the line.
Yeah, a little too on it on that one. So what we're looking for is, of course, some great dad stories. This person writes on Reddit, says, one time I asked my dad to rent the Notebook from the good old family video store up the street. He rented Nacho Libre because he could only remember it started with an N.
Yes, much better.
I think you picked a better movie.
Yes.
Look at Sarah, she's pissed.
Oh, she's not happy about that.
Oh, and the Notebook is way better than Nacho Libre.
Why do you even bother with that? Well, that's a person because you know what? I had a job to do. Can't remember how to do it. I'll bring something back.
I'll find the first movie that starts with the letter N that looks fun.
Yeah. This person said, one time my dad's fart smelled so bad my dog threw up.
That's amazing.
Signed Tatum Migs. Oh, look at that. I didn't know she wrote into Reddit already.
She's very, very serious. When if I Dad tooted, she's like, Dad, boys don't toot, boys fart. Where do you come up with these things?
She knows, dude. She watches all those shows. They teach her.
What shows? I watch these shows with her. Paw Patrol does not have an agenda about men farting or tooting.
Oh, she's got a new show she's watching, Poop Patrol.
Oh, Poop Patrol.
That's the one that tells you all about it.
Poop Patrol.
There you go. That's it.
All right, Sarah, what are you thinking? One time, my dad did.
Wow, I actually, two came to mind because I have friends that will never let me live either of them down. One awesome, one not so awesome. The awesome one was when I was having a Halloween party, and Dad, you dressed up as V for Vendetta.
Oh, yeah.
And memorized the entire monologue of, you probably still know parts of it. I am V and a V, and he had a sword, and he did the whole
You did videos of this.
It was
at work. You would practice this.
Incredible.
Yeah. I love that monologue from the movie V for Vendetta, where basically everything is a V word that he's able to, with his whole monologue.
Yeah.
Everything begins with a V.
Yeah.
No, and I had no idea he was going to do this. So we were all just hanging out, having a good time, and then all of a sudden, V from Vendetta comes up. Oh,
did your crew know the movie? Or?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Oh, they were very entertained.
Okay, good.
And I was at that age where I was like, I'm entertained and I love this, but I'm also a little embarrassed.
Sorry about that.
But they still bring it up. And then the other one was one time my dad went on a nice rant about how I should start using condoms in front of all of my friends.
I think I do remember this.
Yeah.
Was that when the 13-year-old was down there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The 13-year-old.
She was like 14 and I was like 16.
Whatever. It's just this young girl liked to hang out with them, and this young girl was developing at a very accelerated rate. She did not look like her age at all.
So that was the time you decided to talk about the importance of rubbers?
Because I was like, first of all, Sarah, you can't let this girl who looks a lot older than she is hang out with you, because 16 is different than, I think she was 13 and a half. I don't think she was 14.
Well, in a conversation between me and BJ never goes well. So we just started arguing about using condoms.
So was the lecture for your daughter to use rubbers or for this 13-ish person?
Yeah, I was like, you guys gotta be responsible. You don't realize what you look like or what's going to happen on the other side of this equation when it comes to young boys.
And
I mean, it's just someone's got to talk sense into you.
Yeah, and I think BJ was like looking at me, but really directing it to the entire room.
And they all probably went back to their parents and been like, we just had the sex talk. With Sarah's dad.
I mean, sometimes these parents, I'll be like, your kids are going out all hoed up. Like this 13-year-old, seriously. I mean, I would not let this 13-year-old out of the house the way she looked. Is because of the fact, again, she looked like she was 18. And you really, at that point, got to go.
You can't hide what you're developing, okay? It's not her fault.
That's why you got to be prepared and know that boys seeing that at that age, I mean, you cannot expect like clear thinking from hormone-crazed boys. Someone's got to tell you, here's how it goes down so everybody can be cool.
Yeah,
I wish I could have been in the house of whoever went back to their home and said, so Sarah's dad told us about condoms.
Dude, you should have seen all my friends, because then it's just BJ and I pretty much arguing about this, and they're all just sitting, just staring like, what is this household?
When can we leave?
What is going on? Yeah, and they still remember. So,
well, good.
And I do too.
And none of them got pregnant.
I was about to say, did any of them get pregnant?
No, and the one who developed really nicely is actually gay now. So
kudos, BJ.
You completely flipped her
of all men.
I welcomed her to her own identification because of the fact I was so open about that conversation. See that?
It was something.
Yeah, well, and you and I never actually ever had a quiet conversation anyway. So,
ever.
Yeah.
How about this text said, one time my dad informed me of my favorite uncle's death through email. Just said, your Uncle Matty died this morning. That's it. No other words. That's rough.
That's really just email is how you do it.
That's worse than what my parents will do, because sometimes my parents they're still to this day scared to upset me of certain things, like when death happens. Granted, not as much nowadays, but when I was a little bit younger, but still in my 30s, and they were like talking to them and they're like, "Oh, we just want to let you know your Uncle Junior passed away passed away." I'm like, "No, what?" And then like, it was about a couple months ago, and I was like, "Why? What? When were you planning on telling?" "Oh, we figured now is a good time." I'm like, so now I look like the giant D-bag that didn't send flowers, didn't send my condolences. Like, I had no idea that he died.
Yeah, that is very bizarre that they or do they not think you're an adult where you would actually have to be responsible for those kind of moments?
I still swear, if like, you know, obviously sadly in this one day all of us go, but like, you know, like when the time comes for them, I might not know for a few months.
I didn't want to tell you. I didn't want to tell you about your father, Steve. And, oh, really? It's been 10 years. I mean, what?
That's my biggest fear. Is like I won't know until like it's like 3 weeks later. Or
I'd
something
like to get
that.
in their head. Like what
It's
makes
my mom? My mom is convinced. Like she still babies me. That's really what it is. Like I think she's still afraid to see her son hurt.
You are the baby boy.
Yeah, but like it's bad when my brother has to sometimes tell me like, "Hey, just to let you know, our aunt's not doing all that well, so just heads up." I'm like, I appreciate that. I probably won't find out from mom and dad.
He's got to be the guy to do it solid.
He is now
he has
the guy.
to, because it's like, your mom, you're right. There's no convincing her that you're not the baby boy.
Now I have to I cringe whenever I get a phone call from him. Not because I don't like him, because I'm like, oh, here we go. Who's he breaking the news about this time?
I know. Doesn't that suck when you have those kind of relatives that you never hear from except those moments? That's why I think you got to do something as a relative. You got to mix it up. You can't just be the death relative.
You can't be the Grim Reaper.
Yeah, you can't be that relative. You got to mix it up. You really do. All right. Well, happy Father's Day, everybody. There you go. I noticed Joey had nothing to say about me.
Oh, Joey, do you?
He's got no moments.
Oh, I definitely do.
Oh, you do?
Yeah, it's the time you trolled me on my birthday.
Oh, of course.
Yeah, when I was younger, I didn't like the wait staff to sing me happy birthday when we would go out to a restaurant. And we went to the Olive Garden. Mm-hmm. I was having a great time. We went through the whole meal without anything going on. And then you went to go pay the check. And not a minute later, they started clapping and they sung me happy birthday.
Okay, I'd like to clarify this story just so you can understand the pressures of being married. Wasn't my idea.
Well, I don't care who to blame. You're the one who did it.
I know I did it because I'm the one that was told to go do it, even though I was like, and I remember sort of, without trying to start a fight on your birthday, looking at your mother going, "Kid doesn't like this kind of thing. He doesn't like this kind of thing." Which is a great impression of my wife.
Is that what she sounds
That's
like?
exactly what she
now
sounds
I know
like.
why you don't want to live with her.
Yeah.
That
Honestly,
sounds.
it was probably me too who was like,
Oh, yeah,
yes,
that's the
we
other
have
one.
to.
The other little biatch at the table.
Oh, yeah. Dad, if you weren't going to do it, I was going to do it. So.
Oh, dude, Joey hates this story, and he doesn't ever understand that, sometimes you got to do what you're told in order not to have a giant fight in a restaurant and hope that maybe it's going to be okay. Of course, it wasn't, and now I'm the bad guy.
We had gotten through dessert. There were no candles.
I
was
know.
like, oh, this is great. Finally, a peaceful birthday. And you got up, and like it was a mission. And
Yes, it was a mission from your mother.
Hey, here's a question now, Joe. Do you still hate when that happens?
No, now I really enjoy it.
What?
What?
You cannot enjoy it now. You gave us hell all those years.
I was about to say, if he still did, when we go to our radio convention, it might have to be somebody's birthday.
Yeah.
Every time he walks into a
did
room, it's going to be his birthday.
When did you start enjoying it? Because you've been holding on to this hate for years, and now you enjoy them?
21st birthday, when I found out you could get free drinks when you tell them it's your birthday.
Okay, that's a different story.
I'll deal with a song if I get a free drink.
That's right.
All right. I hate being blamed for something that I was forced to do. I wish I had stood up at that table and said, "No, woman, it won't be done."
I want to hear the other side of this story.
Yeah, I feel like there might be a changed narrative to this story.
Sarah will tell you who's the one that was always going, "Joey needs to do this," and Joey would be saying, "I don't want this." I mean, I've been there for that, where he doesn't want this stuff.
I mean, in all honesty, I thought everyone secretly loved getting the attention. Like, I just recently found out
Shocking
that
you would think that.
Yeah, that I'm the odd one because I love it. I will literally go to Red Robin every time and tell them it's my birthday because they sing to you that fun song. You get a sundae. Like, I'm confused that other people don't absolutely adorable.
Yeah, I'm not a fan, but if I'm getting something in exchange for it, I'm willing to deal with it.
Yeah, Joey, early on, we knew. We did it one time, and he did not like it. And I'm like, wow, this...
it's going to be Joey's birthday every day in Dallas.
Joey's got Joey doesn't say much, but he's got this dark cloud energy when he's in a bad mood.
He does.
And you feel it. Like you go, and I go, I'm like, I don't want this. This sucks. I don't want the... And then when it was proposed, hey, we got to... I'm like, oh, no, you don't understand. He hates this.
But I thought deep down he secretly loved it.
I know. You guys, you and your mother have this weird thing where people go, the sky is blue, and you go, oh, no, I think it's green. I'm like, what is
I just thought he didn't want to look like an attention whore.
No, he was you see misery when it's on their face?
Welcome to my childhood.
Yeah, well, just want you to know who's responsible, Joe.
I thought you were like me. I thought you were an attention whore.
Yeah, I did.
God dang. And guess what? And I'm the one that takes the arrows for this. I'm not happy about it.
Happy Father's Day.
Thank you. Yesterday, Steve, he did get this one wrong.
On a standard computer keyboard, what letter is between the A and the D?
The M?
No.
Wow. N?
No.
I?
No. Jeez.
Arguably, what should be between the A and the D is T, if you think about it.
Oh, wow.
See that? I mean, if you do some deep thinking.
Who am I to tell you what to do in your weekends?
Yeah, but actually, it's close to a T. It's S. And all you folks that know home row know that it is FDSA anyways. That's how it goes. That's all I know. That's all I got for you. So if you want a shot at beating Steve, here you go. 206-803-ROCK. We'll play Beat Migs at 847 on The Rock.
Today's podcast was brought to you by Travis Gagne, bankruptcy attorney. He's here right now and has agreed to answer more of your questions about bankruptcy. How do I figure out who my creditors are?
People a lot of times have had a long time of not having good credit and having collections, and so they're concerned that you may be concerned that you won't be able to find all your creditors if you file bankruptcy. How will I know which collection agency has my credit card bill from 10 years ago now? And that's something that's hard to keep track of because credit collection agencies transfer your debts all over the place. But we will pull all your credit bureaus, and by getting all three of your credit bureaus, we'll be able to tell who has your credit and debt now, which collection agencies have had it in the past, and we'll make sure that we file all your creditors when we file your bankruptcy so that nothing slips through the cracks.
Thanks, Travis. If you have more questions about bankruptcy, you can reach out to Travis anytime at choosetherightchapter.com. That's choosetherightchapter.com. Thanks for listening.
Dealing with an accident and injury claim can be overwhelming. Let Phillips Law Firm fight for you. We understand the pain and suffering, and we're here to guide you through. Call 1-800-JUSTICE today for a free case review, or visit justiceforyou.com and let Phillips Law Firm help you on the road to recovery.
Hello, I'm actor and small business owner Ty Burrell, and I'm going to tell you how Innovation Refund's network of independent tax attorneys help eligible small businesses file for the ERC. Also, they're letting me play with the soundboard, and I love it. They analyze and interpret ERC claims to help businesses get the refund amounts they may qualify for. Go to innovationrefunds.com or call 1-843-REFUNDS.
Innovation Refunds does not provide tax or legal advice. We work with an independent network of tax professionals to evaluate and process your claims. Terms and conditions apply. Ty is a paid spokesman.
Hey, this is BJ. Thanks for listening to our show's podcast. If you're a fan of all things geeky, you should check out my other podcast, BJ Shea's Geek Nation. We have new episodes every day, and you can check it out at bjgeeknation.com.
Your home is going into foreclosure and you feel like a financial wreck. You don't know where to turn for accurate information. I'm bankruptcy attorney Travis Gagne. Let's talk about some legal options. If we work quickly, we can propose a plan to save your home, modify the loan, or in many cases even eliminate your second mortgage. The consultation is free. I've helped hundreds of people just like you make informed decisions about whether to save their home or exit it on a reasonable, organized timeline. The chapter you choose sets the tone for the next chapter of your life. Please contact me today at choosetherightchapter.com. That's choosetherightchapter.com.
99.9 KISW, The Rock of Seattle, presenting Ghost at the White River Amphitheater on August 4th. This is not just going to be an ordinary show as, man, Steve, they've got a cool interactive experience that you're going to want to see.
Yeah, it's called the Spillways Lounge. It's a pre-show experience for VIP people. They get to have a cash bar, free snacks, a bunch of Ghost memorabilia is going to be there, but plus almost like a pop-up museum, a bunch of artifacts on display. So if you're a Ghost fan, this will be a pretty sweet setup to go check out before the show, and you can get it by winning tickets.
Yeah, that's right. We get this all for you, and you don't have to do much. You want a chance to win these tickets? Just log in and listen to KISW. 2 ways to do that. Log in and listen on the Odyssey app, AUDACY, or log in on KISW.com. You listen, Steve, and the more hours you listen,
The more chances you get at winning.
just like that. More info? KISW.com.
Let's play B Migs. It's time to play the game. So everybody scream his name. B Migs. Don't be a loser. Whoa. B Migs. You're a loser.
Who's ready to be Migs?
Yo, let's do it.
I know Andrew from Little Rock, Arkansas is. Andrew, are you there?
Yes, I am.
How is Arkansas treating ya?
Hot and sweaty.
That's how I like my women.
Sounds about right. All right, Steve, now get out. For those playing at home, Andrew has 60 seconds to answer 10 questions. You can pass all you want, but you only get 3 guesses per question. Are you ready?
Yes.
Queen's hit song Bohemian Rhapsody is on their album titled A Night at the What?
Opera.
Yes.
Nice.
The 2 alcohols in a French 75 cocktail is champagne and what?
Pass.
What is the largest island in the Caribbean Sea?
Cuba.
Yes. Cleopatra supposedly took a bath in what liquid?
Milk.
Yes. Beginning with A, what is the real first name of Tina Turner?
Pass.
What 2 elements make up 99% of the air?
Carbon.
No.
Oxide.
No.
Hello? Oh, he's still there.
Pass.
There we go.
What pop singer's fans call themselves Katy Cats?
Katy Perry.
Yes. What superhero uses the slogan, "It's clobbering time"?
Oh, The Thing.
Yes.
Nice. Oh, gotta love a fellow FF fan.
And with that, you get 5 correct.
Boy, you got to go pretty deep, I think, to know that.
Really?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, maybe I'm crazy and people know that more than I think.
Maybe Andrew just knows what's up.
Yeah, I mean, that's,
It's a deep one?
See if Steve knows. Steve probably knows, too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I hope so.
All right, Steve, are you ready?
Damn. Oh, wow, okay. Barack was not sure if you were ready.
He wasn't sure, but
the
the
crazy
lady
was.
The lady sure was sure.
They hang out together. It's
I guess
kind of
so.
crazy.
Crazy train lady.
Yes, and I need it.
Oh, there she is. Well, Diablo 4 is out, and she's just promoting it.
Yes.
Okay.
Queen's hit song Bohemian Rhapsody is on their album titled A Night at the What?
Opera.
Yes.
Good job.
What 2 alcohols? The 2 alcohols in a French 75 cocktail is champagne and what?
I'm going to go champagne and whiskey?
No.
Champagne and vodka?
No.
Champagne and tequila?
No.
I don't know.
What is the largest island in the Caribbean Sea?
Bermuda?
No.
Bahamas?
No.
Ooh, I want to take you.
Acapulco?
No. Cleopatra supposedly took a bath in what liquid?
Blood.
No.
Wow.
Milk?
Yes.
Okay, I was afraid what you were going to say
Beginning
next.
with A, what was the real first name of Tina Turner?
Angie.
No.
Aggie.
No.
Hi, Aggie.
Artie.
No.
Artie
What
Turner.
2 elements make up 99% of the air?
Gas and hydrogen.
No.
Gas and oxygen.
No.
Oxygen and hydrogen.
No.
Oh.
What pop singer's fans call themselves Katy Cats?
Katy Perry.
Yes.
Yes.
What superhero uses the slogan, "It's clobbering time"?
Oh, that's the Hulk.
No.
Oh, the Thing.
Yes.
I get those two confused sometimes.
You get 4 correct, which is a loss. 5-4.
Nice work, Andrew. Yeah, it was clobbering time. Good job, Andrew.
I clobbered Steve.
Yeah, you sure did.
Well, kind of.
Wow, yeah. That's a win's a win, Sarah.
True.
A win is a win. He did clobber me.
Yeah, he did. And you know what? Congratulations.
That sucks.
Congratulations to me, of course. Yeah, Steve.
The French 75 cocktail is champagne and, does anyone know?
I would be guessing.
Gin.
Gin.
I would have guessed gin.
It's so good. I had some over the weekend. They're
Did
dangerous,
you?
though.
What's it called?
French 75.
I've never heard of it.
Ooh.
See, champagne and gin are not my favorite spirits, but mixed together, you say they're
Mixed
good?
together, it's phenomenal.
Okay.
Did you get it in one of those fancy glasses?
Sure did.
All right, that's what's up.
Yeah. The hangover, not the greatest because you're already mixing two alcohols.
So you got
but-
the little lemon on there?
Yeah. You feel very fancy drinking one.
All right, Lynn.
The largest island in the Caribbean Sea is Cuba.
That was the
Andrew
that
got
was the difference
correct.
maker.
Cuba.
Yes. Beginning with A. Does anyone know what was Tina Turner's real first name?
Ariel?
It's Anna.
Oh.
It's very simple.
Oh, yeah, I should have gone with the Anna.
And does anyone know the two elements that make up 99% of the air?
Isn't it nitrogen and oxygen?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
I was thinking maybe I'm wrong, and maybe it's more difficult than I remember.
That makes
Yeah.
sense.
No, neither of you got that right. So
Whoops.
that's fine.
Yeah, that happens.
Congratulations, Andrew, for beating Steve.
Yeah, good job, Andrew. And quick trivia for anybody. Of course, we know Queen liked to spend a night at the opera, but on that double album, I believe it was a double album, do you know where they spent their day?
No.
Yeah, because it was a white-black album, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know if it was
Day
two
at the
albums.
Park?
No, it wasn't Day at the Park. I don't know if it was double album or if it was just two different albums, but I remember they had a night at the opera after a day at the races.
A day at the races.
And a night at the... And I thought it was a double
Queen has
album.
never been that band for me. Like I like a lot of their songs. Or I'm lying. I like a handful of their songs, but I've never been a huge Queen fan.
It wasn't until Bohemian Rhapsody or the movie that really got me back into them.
I like to spend. I need to spend like a day and like just kind of enjoy some of their albums and just see like the non-radio hits and see how I feel about it. Because I just recently did that with Fleetwood Mac, and I'm like, you know what, this is a lot better than I thought it was going to be. And Queen has always been one of those bands where I'm like, I need to listen to them, and I eventually psych myself out of it.
It's hard to know.
my band.
Because you listen to Rumors, which is arguably a great front-to-back album.
Oh, yeah, don't get it twisted. I'm not going to now start, like, obsessively listening to Fleetwood Mac records.
Yeah, and I don't think you would have the same experience, whereas, and I don't know if Queen has a great front-to-back record that some people, maybe they do. People think that maybe Night at the Opera is. I don't know. I personally don't think, there's a lot of great Queen songs, but I'm not sure there's a whole album I would listen to
Queen
front to back.
2 is the one I think a lot of people would say is the one you got to check out.
Yeah, and I'm not sure I want to.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, again, the songs that I like on that, yes, but I'm not sure, like Rumors, that every darn song is great. But it's been a long time since I've really. I don't even know if I could tell you all the songs on Queen 2.
What about their first record? Which one has "We Will Rock You" and all that good stuff?
Oh, is it the one with the robot? Is it that one?
News of the World.
News of the World with Kelly Freas, who was a great science fiction painter, and he did a cover for them. And gosh, Kelly Freas, so good at his art. It almost made me want. I think I did buy that album just because of the cover. And what songs are on there? I can't even see.
For the robot one, Sheer Heart Attack.
Oh, yeah.
Get Down, Make Love, Spread Your Wings.
Yeah, that's not something I remember a whole lot of. I think Sheer Heart Attack I remember.
We Are the Champions is on News of the World. That
there it is.
about.
Okay.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That's it. There you go, buddy. That was about it, I think, on that album. And maybe, like I said, I think I remember Sheer Heart Attack, but I don't think a lot of other people do.
That's so crazy, yeah. Because We Are the Champions and We Will Rock You. Those are the ones I guess I could maybe start with that one.
And another one, Bites the Dust. That's a classic.
Oh yeah,
yeah. And that one
makes me think of the Junkyard Dog as a wrestling fan.
And I love the story behind that because it was a disco sounding beat that there was a huge
from the movie.
fight.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't realize that at the time, and Queen said, "I don't care." Freddie Mercury's like, "I don't care. I think we should do this," and it turned out to be a really, really good song for them.
Somebody said, if I'm not mistaken, Night at the Opera and Day of the Races were both Marx Brothers movies. Another person said that as well.
Oh, that's
Marx
right.
Brothers movies.
Yes. Oh, yes. Good call. I've totally forgot that relate. That just goes to show you how old everything is, because I don't even know if people know the Marx Brothers, really.
And the texter recommended listening to The Game of when it comes to their records.
Oh, really? The Game?
Yeah.
I don't even know if I know that one.
Crazy Little Thing Called Love is on that one. Another one, Bites the Dust, Need Your Loving Tonight. Oh, okay, yeah, that actually sounds good.
Wow.
That's
okay.
That one's chock full of hits.
Really? Oh, yeah, there it is. Okay. Isn't that something? Of course, that was the time where they were like, should we be doing disco at all?
Mm-hmm.
That's interesting. All right, it is time for Listeners on the Loose, where you pick the topic, you guide the show. What do you want to talk about? 206-803-ROCK, that's the number. Anything you want to talk about, you can also text us at that same number, 206-803-ROCK. We got your calls. We got your texts. We're going to take them at 9:17 on The Rock.
BJ and Migs. Mornings on The Rock. 99.9 KISW.
99.9 KISW, The Rock of Seattle. It's listeners on the loose. 206-803-ROCK. That's the number you need if you want to talk to us. If you want to text to us, 206-803-ROCK. Remember, you can do whatever you want, but make sure you follow Steve's rule.
It's a simple rule. Show some energy and bring it. Otherwise, we're gonging you. And then saying goodbye.
Goodbye, old friend.
Call us or text us, 206-803-ROCK.
We got some text messages coming in. This one, it's going towards Danny.
All right.
Hey, guys. My daughter and I are going to be at the Mariners game on Sunday also. My daughter was excited to hear that Danny's going to be there with his daughter, too. Happy Father's Day from Tim and Everett.
Let's go.
Oh, look at that.
If you see us, say hello.
Yes. Don't say hi to Lily. Lily has strict rules not to make eye contact.
Yeah.
And it's $5 for autographs.
Do you have do you have a preferred social if people like try to get with you, like where they should try to ping you, or do you want to just be like incognito?
Oh, I can go wherever they want, but you can find me at Hi, I'm Danny V.
Okay, boom.
But yeah, also, what's funny you say that because we ran into a listener at the Sounders game last time we went, and we were not expecting it. Shout out, she gave us a bunch of candy for Lily. She was like, "I want to take pictures with Lily," and I was like, "Okay, here you go." And Lily was so stoked. So shout out to Lisa.
You wanted pictures with Lily?
Yeah, well, all of us. I mean, me too. But she was just like, I know that.
This is kind of strange.
She wanted to take pictures with all.
Okay, that makes sense. It's
she
like
wanted to entice Lily.
Yeah.
With
I gotcha.
It's not a good.
I don't know if you want to teach your kid, hey, for candy, you can take pictures with strangers.
Optics, Lana, optics.
I know. I grew up my whole life told not to take candy from strangers.
Yeah, no, I get you.
Yeah.
How'd you get here, ma'am? In a white van. Why do you ask?
Does Lily want to ride?
Yeah, don't think that's. All right. Well, Danny, just be careful, Danny.
I got you.
All righty then. Yeah.
I think he's okay.
Yeah. It is listeners on the loose, 206-803-ROCK. That's the number to call. That's the number to text.
Oh, you give a quick shout out. Someone texted in, and also I want to give a shout out to the Coachella Valley Firebirds. Tonight, it is game number 4. Right now, they have a 2-1 series lead in the AHL Championships, which is pretty exciting. A first year as a minor league team, minor league affiliate for the Kraken, and they have a shot at winning the championship this year, and they're taking on the Hershey Bears.
Give it a shout.
Right now, they're up 2-1.
I remember the Hershey Bears, man.
Yes, and how about this? I love this. It was a great story on ESPN. I think it was Greg Wyshynski wrote the article, and it's about how, for fun, they're banning any kind of chocolate at the Coachella, just in Coachella Valley in general. I guess they're asking for everybody just to kind of boycott all chocolate bars, chocolate milk, chocolate ice cream, chocolate donuts, chocolate chip cookies. And they're even saying like, hey, if you come bringing chocolate to the arena, we'll swap it out. I guess there's a sponsor, Brandini Toffee, and they'll give them a bag of popcorn.
That's pretty funny.
There's a great video of Fuego, their mascot, walking through the concessions. He finds a bunch of chocolate and just throws it on the ground, and he's kicking it. And everybody's laughing because it's like none of that chocolate are Hershey's chocolate.
I know. It's dude, don't be kicking my M&Ms.
Yeah, that's what he was.
Yeah, that's not Hershey.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, they're boycotting all chocolate.
Not happy about that. I think the M&M's Mars people could get by the fire. They could get behind the Firebirds. Beat those Hershey's.
All chocolate is dead to Fuego.
Yeah. All right, Fuego. But anyway, 2-1. Yeah. Congrats to the Firebirds. What a great season for both the Kraken and the Firebirds.
I think they were down like 4-1 in game 3 and ended up tying it, going to overtime. Ended up losing in overtime, but still, this is a good team.
Yeah. Okay, that's exciting. And the AHL on the East Coast, it's very popular. It really, really is. A lot of people do love their AHL hockey out there.
They're killing it in Coachella Valley right now. Great first season, but still, it's a minor league team, and they're packing that place out, and everyone's really embracing the team. It's pretty cool. I want to go to a game there.
And we're the WHL, and for years, I don't know, Steve, I thought that the AHL was always considered a little better than the WHL.
Oh, it is.
So it's cool that the WHL team is still, really, hanging pretty well, right? Is Coachella AHL or WHL? I don't know.
Coachella's AHL. That's why they're in the AHL Championships.
I thought they were. You know how they sometimes go play other.
No. AHL is just minor league.
The AHL has made it all the way out here. I totally didn't realize that. I really didn't know that. It used to be very East Coast back in the day.
And it's the minor league affiliates. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, obviously there's a lot on the East Coast. But yeah, dude. The WHL is junior hockey. The AHL is minor league hockey. Junior hockey is it's where the players go before they get drafted and maybe eventually go to the AHL.
Thank you for helping me out with that because I really thought Coachella was WHL the whole time.
No, that's our minor league team.
Oh, very, very cool.
Well, so you thought like Chris Drieger and Joey DeCord, when they're not playing for the Seattle Kraken, they go down to the WHL?
You know, here's the problem. You understand what the letters mean.
Yeah.
Whereas in baseball, you know it's simple. It's like AAA, AA, single A. So you know it's easier to tell everything apart. But AHL, WHL, my brain doesn't know which one is higher or lower.
WHL is pretty close to like being it's like a collegiate type level.
Yeah.
Because that's the age range, like 14-ish to about 20. That's the age of the players.
That makes sense.
I'm not exactly sure of the exact age, but that's around that, like 15 or so. But then eventually when they get done with the WHL, they can only do it up until a certain age. Then it's either move on to the pros or more than likely, if you're good enough, you move on to like the AHL or some other smaller minor league affiliates.
Which is a little different than baseball. I mean, if you're really, really good, they end up like getting you from AA to the bigs. Mm-hmm. And then sometimes those floaters, you know, for different reasons, you know, you got guys in the AAA, but sometimes they say it's the AA players you really want to look out for, especially the young ones. So, cool thing is that we have got a team to really wonder what's going to contribute.
And you just figured out we have a team, and they're in the finals.
They're in the finals. But, I mean, we've got like players on that team that who knows what they'll contribute to the Kraken next year. That's exciting.
So I want to know, hey, I'm waiting to still hear about these celebrities on Mars, BJ.
Oh, Stars on Mars. I did. I'm a couple of episodes behind because I think it was last week that they premiered the first episode. And so I went and watched it on Hulu. Marshawn Lynch and Richard Sherman together on the same show.
Okay, I knew Marshawn was on the show. I didn't know Richard Sherman's doing this too.
Yeah, so I'm like, you've got me. I mean, these are the two most, out of all the Seahawks, these are the people you definitely want to see in an environment of a reality show. I was in. I'm like, I don't care what it is. William Shatner is your host, and it's fantastic since it's about, being on Mars. It's on Fox and Hulu, and, they do a really good job making you think these guys are on Mars. I will say that they really do. Like they found a part, they found some setting in our country somewhere where it looks, some red rockish area that looks very much like Mars. Whether or not they use special effects or whatever, but it's pretty cool. And the idea is that these guys are supposed to try to survive as if they really were on Mars, and then they eliminate somebody every week who basically wasn't mission critical. They call it like you did nothing. And sadly, McLovin got eliminated in the first week.
Spoiler alert!
They're already almost on to episode 3. What do you want from me?
I want you not to tell us who's winning and losing.
Well, you know what? You got to watch the show. You're not going to watch it.
I might.
You won't watch that show.
You never know.
Okay.
I might now watch that as spite, but now I don't want to because you spoiled it.
Yeah, I figured that's a real problem for you. Anyway, Marshawn was the mission leader, and of course, he was snoring on the job because he got his own special bedroom. Everybody else is in bunk beds, and obviously, it's a lot of it. Is probably scripted, but still, Marshawn and Richard together, they had a little bit of an argument, and Richard tried to talk about how Pete did things and how Marshawn wasn't doing things the way Pete did things. It was pretty funny, and so I think it's worth a watch if you're a fan of some of the people. But McLovin is out. I was sad because I was kind of Ronda Rousey's also on there, and Lance Armstrong, who. By the way, the girl that played, and again, I don't know if it's scripted, but the girl that played the smart one on Modern Family thought it was Neil Armstrong. And she said, how do we compete against this guy? He's a real astronaut.
Okay, that's pretty awesome.
Ariel Winters, then eventually she later in the show was so embarrassed, like, God, I'm an idiot. And like Lance is going, yeah, I'd be dead if I were Neil Armstrong because he's like 100-something years old. So that was a funny first episode.
Well, if you're looking for a Seahawks fix, I got to give a shout out to KJ Wright. He just put out a new podcast.
Woo, KJ!
That's such a great era of the Seahawks. The Marshawn, Richard Sherman, Doug Baldwin, KJ Wright, Bobby Wagner, of course, Russell Wilson, all those guys. And it's called KJ All Day. It's on YouTube. It's on
nice.
All the podcast places. His co-host is G. Scott. So it's really fun. Those two together.
Wow, look at G. Scott. I just recently had lunch with him. Said nothing about it.
Well, it was a surprise to me as well.
Nothing about it. G. Keeping secrets.
But they just recently had.
They called him the most powerful man in Hollywood, and he really was for decades.
He extended his tentacles like an octopus throughout the entire entertainment industry.
Mr. Lou Wasson.
This is Glitter and Might, an Odyssey Originals documentary podcast series written and narrated by me, Sean Levy. All episodes are available on the Odyssey app or wherever you get your podcasts.
Hi,
This is Shannon Storms-Bedore, Real Housewife of Orange County and entrepreneur. When my company, Real for Real, started selling our health products online, we struggled to ship our orders out quickly and without error. But ShipStation's simple dashboard made it easy to manage orders from every marketplace. Plus, with ShipStation, we get up to 84% off USPS and UPS rates. Automate your shipping with ShipStation. Go to ShipStation.com/audio for a free 60-day trial. That's ShipStation.com/audio.
Red Bryant on, and oh my gosh, he is funny. It's a fun conversation, and it's very loose. It's very colorful language because he's just talking to one of his buddies, KJ Wright, and also he's friends with G as well. So it's not like your typical standard questions and answers. Like the stories are pretty ridiculous, and it's a lot of fun, and get a good peek behind what that team was like back in those days when they made the run for the Super Bowl.
Man, that's
a really good listen.
And how about, lots of love to G. I remember when he brought, he came in studio and, he was cleaning the Seahawks cars. And so he would, he accompany, Marcus Trufant, I think he brought in.
He was working with Marcus on some charity events and also helping Marcus with his auto detailing company.
And he
was basically like his PR guy.
Yeah. And G has worked his way up. And of course, now he's on, he's on 710, I should say 97.3 Cairo, doing a talk show. This guy, man, he's just and now he's doing this podcast with KJ. What a great story for G. And
there was a great story KJ shared on there, and I thought that was really entertaining because you're like hearing about these guys you were fans of, and he's like, there's a time that Cam Chancellor called me and says, hey, am I supposed to invite everybody to my wedding on the teams? Like, and KJ's like, no, that's crazy. There's too many people. You just can't do that. He's like, okay, cool. Fast forward X amount of months. KJ finds out he was not invited to Cam Chancellor's wedding.
He asks advice from the guy he's not inviting.
Probably to gauge whether or not he'd be okay with it.
Okay, that's not a bad strategy.
I just thought that was the funniest thing when he shared that story. And then he goes off about how, like, I guess Jermaine Kirsten invited him to the wedding. I'm like, this is so funny.
Wow.
Like, it was like he wasn't coming from like a bitter place. It was just KJ sharing these stories, and you're just like, it's pretty fun to hear the human side of the players that we've been fans of for so many years.
Yeah, and they really, when you think about it, rock stars, celebrities because of what they were in this town.
They brought a Super Bowl to the city, and I think that's all. They're always going to be looked at as like these like superstars for the city.
Yeah, I love it, man. I love that Marshawn is everywhere, and I'm hoping. So far, I'm digging Richard Sherman. I haven't seen him do much TV work. Marshawn's done a lot of stuff on TV, but I'm hoping that this is something because I think I think the camera likes him, and I think he's really good at just whatever he throws in. Mm-hmm. So fingers crossed that Richard stays on Stars on Mars. It's on Fox.
You'll spoil it for us if he doesn't.
Yeah. It's episode 3 we're on. Okay, come on.
3.
Episode 3 is out. What do you want from me? How long are we supposed to wait to talk about shows?
Until I finish seeing them.
Okay. Oh, so it's just you. It's not even other people.
Oh, I don't care about anyone else.
All right.
Although a lot of texters are not very happy with you because I'm on episode 2 right now, BJ. Thanks a lot, you jerk.
Episode 2 is not episode 1. Episode 1 is the one I'm talking about. If they're on 2, why are they mad at me?
Clearly the texter's lying then.
Yeah. Idiot. Unbelievable. I can't talk to these people. They're just trolling me.
No, but damn it, BJ, spoiler.
Again, we're on episode 3.
Episode 3 hasn't come out yet. It comes out on Monday.
Okay, that means we're how many days away from Monday are we? I mean, what do you want?
The math. What do you want from me?
I really don't want you talking to me is really what I want.
We're not even on episode 3. Here you are using an excuse that's not true.
Because I saw it on my DVR. Like, it's the next one to do it. So it means it's coming up. What do you want me to say? I mean, we got to be able to talk about things in life at least a week after they happen. And this has been well over a week after it's happened.
All right, well, I remember that next time you have a show that you haven't seen yet and it's been over a week.
When will there ever be a show that you could ever spoil for me? You know me. I'm on top of it.
I'm going to have to ask the texters to help me with that. You're absolutely right.
Yeah, there's no way, man. Because I care about what I like. All right, it's Listeners on the Loose. You pick the topic. You guide the show. 206-803-ROCK. We've got more of your calls and more of your texts. We'll take those at 9:35 on The Rock.
BJ and Migs, mornings on The Rock, 99.9 KISW.
99.9 KISW, The Rock of Seattle. It's Listeners on the Loose. You pick the topic. You guide the show. 206-803-ROCK. Ethan in Montana listening on the Odyssey app. AUDACY. Ethan, you're on The Rock.
Oh, hello there.
Hello there, Ethan. What you got for us today, buddy?
So, when I first started listening this morning, you guys were talking about the list of bands that people have, historically traveled the furthest to see.
Yes.
And I was thinking to myself, when you were talking about those bands, you know, Pink Floyd, Nirvana, I was like, yeah, those are all huge names, but 134 miles average, like that's it. Thing is, I live in Montana now, so I have to travel for concerts.
All right.
Like last year, I went to Seattle twice for 2 concerts. It's about 800 miles one way, 800 miles.
Yeah, I mean, I think they did tally people like you into that, and that's where they're saying on average, meaning everybody like you and then everybody that might go 20 minutes, they found out that these bands had like 130 miles was about the average that people would travel to go see them. But there are extreme cases for other bands, obviously. And what band do you like? You said you want to see? Or did you say?
Last March, I went to see Dragon Force for the first time, and then Guitar Hero 3 Through the Fire and the Flames.
They're massively popular Guitar Hero fans, and then you know, just like they're kind of like very guitar driven, over the top metal.
How are they live, man?
They're freaking awesome live. Like their guitarist Herman Lee is probably one of the most impressive people I have ever seen live.
That would be a band that'd be fun to see live, just to see what they can pull off, like how they pull all that stuff off in a live setting. Yeah.
So how many times have you seen Dragon Force, Ethan? We know you travel a distance to see them. Have you gone to a bunch of their shows as well?
Well, I wish. They don't play a whole lot in the U.S., unfortunately.
Oh, that's a bummer.
That's kind of the problem I run into with a lot of the, like symphonic metal, power metal bands I like, is they're all very European. In fact, a lot of them are playing in metal festivals right now. Like, in September, I went to see Sabaton, which is one of the first times in a very long time they've played in the U.S. So that was super awesome. But now, they're all over Europe, Sweden, Belgium, Germany, just not here again.
Ethan, is there anywhere to see a concert in Montana? I'm not saying that to be rude. Like, is there any spot that brings in decent sized bands, or is it you just always have to leave Montana to go see a show in Washington?
Nope, you'd be really surprised. In Missoula, we have the Adams Center where the Grizzlies play, and they've had Foo Fighters, Pearl Jam, Avenged Sevenfold, Five Finger Death Punch.
The college is out there. Is that why? I imagine that's why, right?
Yep, and then we also have a really nice amphitheater, and in a few weeks, Robert Plant from Led Zeppelin's playing there.
Oh, look at that. Okay. All right, well, so
tried to get tickets for that, but sold out pretty immediately.
Dang.
Oh, I got to imagine the entire city's going to be there.
Yeah. I mean, look, Robert Plant comes from Montana. You're going to go. How do you?
That's very cool.
Yeah, not the first time he's been here either.
I keep hearing great things. Everyone just keeps talking about, I got to go to Montana. And I have a few friends that keep now going, and they're just obsessed with that area.
It's gorgeous.
I've only driven through it, and the tap water was delicious, and that's all I got.
Well, what else do you need?
Apparently more.
Yeah, if you love the Pacific Northwest, and you love and you just love the nature of the Pacific Northwest and the tree-like atmosphere, Montana just seems to ramp that up. Plus, you got fly fishing? You got that river runs through it kind of attitude.
I gotta get cracking on that.
You got to get cracking on that. All right,
there you go.
Okay, I got no problem. I drove through there when I came out here years ago, and it is beautiful. It's a beautiful state. Yeah. But, I'm not going to go again.
Hey, earlier we were giving love to KJ Wright and his podcast, but, there's a new podcast also starting up today.
Oh, really? What's that?
It's a bunch of losers doing a podcast.
Oh, really? Well, then we should promote it.
No, shout out to Danny, Vicky, Joe, and Sarah. Today is day one of their brand new podcast called The Show After the Show Podcast.
Oh, wait a second.
It's available now at KSW.com, Odyssey, wherever you get your podcasts.
Were you asked to do this podcast?
No.
I was not either, actually.
Yeah. I'm fine
it's the show after the show. I feel like, we
Do you want to do the podcast?
No, but I'd like to be asked.
So you're the person that wants to be invited to a party, even though you know full well you don't want to go to the party.
Exactly.
Even though they might not have invited you because they figured, why bother inviting him? He doesn't want to come to this party.
Yeah, I feel like still an invite is it's like the right thing to do.
So you just want the opportunity to shoot them down.
Exactly. I just want to know that they understand
what's wrong with you.
They understand how the bread is buttered.
Can you just at least ask them?
Yeah, you should at least ask me to be on this this rogue podcast.
Been shot down too many times to ask BJ.
Shot down? What do you all really? What have you asked?
He's always like, I'm way too busy. You have to schedule with me 15 months in advance.
I've got 30 lunches to do today.
Yeah,
I can't go.
Yeah,
and then I have 7 therapist appointments tomorrow.
Yeah.
So it's not going to happen.
So again, what part of this is untrue? You can still make it happen. All those things are true, and you still could have invited me.
Maybe if you play your cards right, you'll get invited to be a guest one day.
Oh, be a guest on a podcast I should be invited to as the guy.
Well, maybe a daughter won't be in and you can fill in for her or something like that.
I understand what you're saying. I think the respect level is what I'm upset. I'm not going to be a guest on a podcast I should be hosting.
My heart was in the right place. I was just trying to help promote your new podcast.
Yeah, I don't
get the word out.
Do not listen to this podcast. I don't endorse this.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Ouch.
I don't condone it. I don't endorse it. Steve or I was not invited on this podcast, literally called the show after our show.
I mean, your name's on the podcast, so it looks like you endorse it.
Oh, really? No, don't put my name on this podcast.
Actually, it says endorsed by BJ Shea.
No, it literally says, look at that. No, don't put my name in there. I want nothing to do with this rogue podcast where you're probably going to be discussing stupid things that I wouldn't even want to really clarify or be involved with.
All right, cool.
Well, you should listen to it, maybe.
No, I got better things to do.
Hit subscribe today.
Sure. You know what? People can text me and they can Facebook message me and tell me all the BS you guys talk about.
Oh, that works.
So earlier we were talking about a Reddit thread where people were sharing, like, the time that your father did something crazy. And this text came in and we didn't have a chance to read it because we went to a break. But I was just like, whoa, this is crazy. This person said, I found out my dad was dating my best friend when I walked in on them doing it.
Oh.
I was 18.
Friend?
I was 18. So was my friend. My dad, 50.
Oh.
What is going?
I've seen those thumbnails, and I always thought those are the most unbelievable. There's no way those would ever happen kind of thumbnails.
I don't even know what to say. First of all, Sarah's made it very clear she never wants anything like that to happen.
Oh, come in here, Sarah.
Oh yeah, she's been very clear about that.
So it's not one of her friends.
No, yeah, she is just like there would no, sometimes this conversation has come up with maybe some other people in her life, and she looked at me, she goes, I would just kill you if you were ever with any of my friends.
My question with this one, is it an affair or was it dad single? And
ooh, that's a good question.
Based on some of these thumbnails I've seen, maybe like the daughter's friend showed up early and he's like, well, my daughter's at the store, she won't be back for another hour. You can would you like some lemonade? And next thing you know,
how long has the dad known the friend?
I don't know.
That's the thing. It's like I've known Sarah's friends, a lot of them, since they were like 10.
Okay. So there's not a single friend in your circle. Obviously not the ones that have been there since childhood. I'm talking like maybe more recent friends you've known since.
So somebody I met maybe in the last 5 years.
Someone that's already past their 20s or, not younger, whatever.
Absolutely not.
Not a single one.
In any scenario, if there was an affair, if it was just a one night thing, if dad, you become single, like.
Oh, even if I become single?
No.
I was not talking
nothing.
Like, who would you want your dad to have an affair with your mom with?
Yeah. Well, no,
okay.
Sarah does
I just had to be very
Sarah
clear.
has a list for that.
Okay.
So yeah, that's what I'm saying, Steve.
No.
There's nobody. Even if for some reason I hit it off with anybody, she doesn't get Sarah. Plus, Sarah's also ruled out many other people in my life. Yeah, it's going to be a miserable thing if I end up single someday because Sarah doesn't approve of anybody that I know.
It would be very strange if you were dating someone like close to my age, even if I wasn't friends with them before.
All right, crazy question.
Okay.
Do you get a vibe that any of your friends find your dad attractive?
No.
Oh.
Sorry, Dad.
I do a good job. I do a good job
of being unattractive.
Okay.
I really do. You crush it. I
really
agree.
do.
You crush it.
I do a good job being unattractive, Sarah. I work on it.
Oh, you do?
Oh, yeah. I work on saying the wrong thing, making sure I don't, don't look my best. I mean, I do.
When you're around my friends, yeah.
Oh, yeah. When your friends come over, it's like, or I don't even see them. Like Sarah will go, oh, my friends are coming over. I go, good. I'm not coming out.
Yeah, I don't think actually like if I show them a picture or if they met you, like none of them have ever been like, ooh, your dad.
Why would they?
Which is great for me.
I look like an older version of Gary Ridgway. Why would any woman go, yeah, that's my man?
Thank goodness.
So is it just the age discrepancy? Because I know on the or is it just because it's your dad, or because I know that some of your friends have expressed some interest in your brother, and you're all for it.
All for it.
Well, yeah, because that's not her dad.
Okay. I mean,
so you don't want any of your friends to be your mom. In other words, like stepmom.
No.
Is that what it is?
But I mean, yeah, but now I'm thinking about it because I'm such a hypocrite because my friend has a dad who I think is fine. And so I told her if I was single, 100%. And then I joke it would be so funny if I did your dad just to be able to say it.
And what did she say to that?
I mean, I'm obviously taken, so I don't think the actual scenario would
just
prepare
even
itself.
jokingly saying, wouldn't you think it's funny if I did your dad? I would have a weird reaction to that if I
would.
I mean, she didn't have her dad kind of had a weird reaction because
of course he would. What is wrong with you? Why would you tell the dad that you wanted to do him when you lecture me about how I should be. You are, you know what? You're like your mom. You and your mom. I don't know how you two think.
How did that even come up?
How do you think?
How did that come up in a conversation? Like, you're so funny, Charles. You know, if I was single, I would have sex with you.
He doesn't live here, so he was visiting, and my nickname for him is, I was going to say her name. I'll say her name. Becky's hot dad. So I say, like, I just want to let you know the name I have for you when you're not here.
Why would you even say her name? Now you've identified her. At least it was a mystery. Now everybody knows whose dad you want to be.
Becky's hot dad.
Yeah, well, Becky's a kind of popular name. It's fine. Yeah.
Not amongst your friends. There's
How
only
many friends
one.
do you have named Becky?
One.
Okay, second.
God, you are just...
I actually only know one Becky in my life.
Why?
But he took it very well. Now he calls himself the hot dad. Like, he...
Yeah, I would be so awkward.
Oh, I'd be fired up if like somebody just said, "Hey, we all go with one person," but I said my nickname is, this person's hot dad.
Yeah.
Oh, I wouldn't like
so
that at all.
it was a big compliment. If my friend called you hot...
Dude, it's awkward. I'm like 1,000 years older than they are. I don't want them looking at me like that.
Yeah, what do you do at that point if he took that as like, and then all of a sudden you get he slides into the DMs?
Exactly.
You just made it odd. That was
How hot do you think I am?
Gosh, Sarah, who raised you? You know what? This is your mother's fault.
Yeah.
No, it's totally her mother's fault.
But yeah, so I didn't sleep with him, obviously. So this was all just
congratulations.
make-believe.
Here's an award for you.
So,
oh my God.
But I wouldn't do it. And you can never do my friends because it would just be weird.
Sarah, there's never been a point where we've had a conversation where I've said, you know who's hot? But I had no idea that you've had conversations about other people's death. You and your mother. I mean, sometimes you both say things that are so hypocritical that I want to leave the planet.
Is Becky's hot dad married?
No. No, he's
that's a nice ego boost for him, I bet.
Becky's dad, he's got it going.
Yeah, that'd be a little inappropriate if he was married.
Would it be just a little inappropriate?
I'd lean more towards a lot of it.
What is wrong with you? It would be a lot of inappropriate.
I would have told her mom too that she had married somebody.
Honest to God, this is why most.
Are you at least drunk when you have these conversations with these people?
I was actually pretty sober.
Steve, do you know that I have no relationships anymore with the parents of her friends because Sarah's such an idiot?
Oh, is that why?
No, that is it.
You've never met Becky's hot dad, though.
You know why? Probably because I'm embarrassed now. I will never meet Becky's any dad.
Oh, it's nice to meet you. I've heard so much about you, Becky's hot dad.
Oh, I'm not gonna. I'm not.
He would love that, actually.
No, I would not love to say that to him. No.
But I feel like if one of my friends actually found you attractive, you would want to know, right?
No, I would not want to know. Please do not share that information with me. I do not want young children thinking I'm attractive.
Okay, young adult.
We're like,
whatever they were, but they were always young children to me back in the day. That's how I see them.
Thanks for calling me young, though. We're 30s.
Okay, whatever. I just don't. I don't need to know these things. You don't need to.
Well, I'm glad they're off limits to you because they should be.
Yeah, thank you, hypocrite Harriet. Thank you for setting the boundaries that you won't even follow. Thank you very much.
Nothing happened.
Okay.
I just called him hot.
Yeah, I don't need this anymore.
It's a compliment.
It's not anything but stupidity. And that's, of course.
We should normalize telling people that they're good looking.
Yes.
What are you talking about?
That's what I'm saying.
Look at you. You can't even keep a straight face saying that.
Oh, no. I just think it's a good idea.
Okay.
I'm smiling.
You know what? Start with the parents of Tatum's friends and then work your way down to her friends as she gets older. How's that? You can start with Tatum's friends' parents, and then when Tatum's friends get old enough, then you can go, hey, how are you? Look, I always said your mom looked good, but really I meant now it's your turn.
I don't know.
Go ahead, start that.
I think that was the type of voice and vibe I got from your daughter.
Yeah, no.
She was like, hey.
That's what it's going to sound like. You don't understand. You cannot compliment anybody who's the friends of your daughter. You will always sound like that. No matter what voice you're using, it'll always come out like this. Hey, I have to tell you something. That's how it's going to sound. Always will, which is why please do not keep me involved. I don't want to be involved in any of this.
I bet you made that man's day.
Yeah, I did. He still calls himself that.
Yeah, you wouldn't make my day. I'd be like, okay, now I can't even talk to these people. I'm going to get arrested. This is bad.
You're going to get arrested? Wow, that escalated rather quickly.
Sure did. Yep. I'm going to get canceled, arrested, everything. Okay, well, here's a question. Sarah, what do you think is the biggest contributor to a failed relationship? Oh, I don't know. I'll tell you at 9:53 on The Rock.
BJ and Migs, mornings on The Rock, 99.9 KISW.
99.9 KISW, The Rock of Seattle. All right, new survey says, hey, what contribute to your failed relationships? Oh, there's a lot on this list. Clinginess is the number one thing, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you gotta give some people some space.
Number two is not going to make a lot of people happy. Overuse of social media. Try telling that to, your relationship's over if, in fact, you have an issue with
Dude,
that.
I know some people, I swear, I don't even know if they're together or broken up or what, but they're always complaining about each other on social media, but then they're still together. And I'm like, you guys sound like you're breaking up all the time on social media. Do you ever have fun together?
I know, which is weird because usually people make themselves look better on social media.
Not some of these people.
Poor hygiene also. Okay, yeah. If you're stinking out the joint, too bad. No sense of humor or a weird, different sense of humor. Number 5 is my wife.
Uh-oh.
Hope she's listening. Being too obsessed with their pet.
Oh, come on. Shout out to Bodie. It's the best man that's ever entered her life.
Really? Is that just what happened? Yeah. You're such a douche.
Thank you.
BJ and Migs, mornings on The Rock, 99.9 KISW.
Today's podcast was brought to you by Travis Gagne, bankruptcy attorney. Here's another question from a listener. Can I leave things off of a bankruptcy, like my car?
You have to list all of your assets and creditors when you file bankruptcy. So you would have to tell the court and the trustee that you have the car or that you have a car loan. You could say that I want to keep my car and continue to make my payments on the car. But the court will need to know that you have a car and that you may have a payment on the car. So by leaving it off the bankruptcy, if you mean that you cannot disclose it to the court, the answer to that is no, you must disclose it. However, that does not mean that you'll lose those assets. You'll be able to keep things like a car and a house in almost all cases, but you must disclose them to the court. But you'll need to continue to make payments on a house or a car that you intend to keep.
Thanks, Travis. If you have more questions about bankruptcy, you can reach out to Travis anytime at choosetherightchapter.com. That's choosetherightchapter.com. Thanks for listening.